How are you getting on? Any warlocks out there? I know a lad called Warlock Man. He's from Shrewl. Warlock! Fucking Oren Kennedy boy. I met a lad Oren there the other day from Donegal. Working in the data center up in Yevla. How are you boys? Who we got in the house? We got Johnny Sideways. How are you, Johnny? Stay with the Johnny. Stay with the Johnny. Big Tom and the Mainliners. I heard Big Tom and the Mainliners were into fucking japping it up with the old Triple H. Immer Sim. How are you, Immer Sim, man? I like your style on Twitter, man. You'd be on to me a good bit. Oren, how are you getting on? Chad Redding's Wiener. Savory Tunes. Shawneen, the man, the myth, the legend. You're very welcome. Cancerous Attitude. How are you, bye? Good to see you, bye. Good to see you. Immer Sim, wreck the neighbors' heads with a bit of Rory G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tattooed lady, bit of baby, they're my family. When I was lonely, someone told me where I could always be. If you could push a penny, you mean enemy. Now, who else we got in the house? Andrew Moynihan, man, Andy. Shawneen Thornton, how are you, Sean? Good fucking Chad energy from Shawneen. How are you, Martin? Are you missing? Are you on mission trying to find Mr. Bailey Gates? Silly car full of nerds, ain't need to tweak. Oh, you motherfuckers, no one's up with the 213. Neo, Klimpipe McGonigle. What's up, everyone? A man, Neo. Did you take the red or the blue pill, man? Did you go to the chat dealer in the leather jacket? And then you started listening to Rob Zombie and Cold Chamber. Jade Elwes, how are you, JD, baby? Long time no see. PHS 44. Harry Kane is actually Beavis. What about Schlabhead? Jeez, when was the last time I fucking live streamed on? Have I live streamed since the World Cup final? I don't know what the hell. I've been busy, been working, been fucking getting things going on. Where have you been, hey, Johnny Sideways? I've been working. Roisin Mac. All right, lads. What's great? How are you, Roisin? Timmy Reedy. Just a good gangy in the house tonight, man. The Mutante. How are you, Mutante, hey? Going to heed with the hit with Dordoff. Why is he doing a live stream, is he? Well, I'm sorry. I'm doing one too. Yeah, I took all the chats. A man Neo. That's the fucking boy for you. Well, Durkin boy, says United Link. That lad likes footy. Chad Redding's Wiener. Brendan Smith. How she couldn't, lad. Oh, Jason Lampman. Pretty good touches. I might have to fucking do a touch of this just to really blow the cobwebs away. Fuck that one up. Even though I was playing it perfectly earlier on, I was like, this time I won't mess it up. And I was like, oh, everyone's watching me. So I fucked it up. I'm doing a lot of gigging lately, man. I'm match fit with the gigs. Yeah, so I did a gig there the other night. I got double booked by the lad who owns the bar. And he was like, but you should have wrote that you were going to play. I said, we discussed this last week. That I was going to play the 2 nights. So I turned up, there was 2 German lads with a trombone and a double bass playing loads of jazzy tunes, as it's in the States. So everyone was like, fucking hell, man, like these guys, I mean, it's great if you're in a jazz bar, but if you're like in a fucking Irish pub, you know, I mean, people are leaving. And I was like, there's only one man to fucking fix this man. So I walked up to him and I said, Gute Zeit, guten Abend, mein Freunde. I believe we've been double booked. So I said, if you don't mind, do you want to form like a little trifecta and we'll drink pints and play nice tunes? So it was great. We played a lot of tunes but with a double bass and a trombonist. It was a very nice synergy. It was very bluesy, very jazzy. Timmy Reedy, Mert, the borders are open, man. I was going to go to Stockholm on the lush with you, but fuck it. Get some time away from the childers and come on the mad lushing to Tallinn, Galad. I wouldn't mind going to Tallinn. I haven't been there since 2005. It was a good while ago. Gus K, how's the form, Durkin? Can't beat a bit of Lizzie. Oh, see, I'm a bit mindful of playing music on YouTube because I get a lot of emails saying, what was it? BMG Brasilia has claimed the copyright to this stream, so any of the money that goes from it will go to them. Like they don't have enough, the pricks. Like they don't have enough, the pricks. Dr. David, Bill Cullen's after you. Yeah, Bill. How's that Toyota? How's that Renault dealership going out in Clondalkin? Come on. Billy Cullen. He's got a beautiful little dealership. He sells Renault Espaces and McGans. Billy Cullen. He smokes fucking bowls, the dankest of cushes and amnesia haze. Suck my dick. Sorry, so that came out of. Mr. Vinyl Ninja, Durkin, Shrift was a job on the floor and sleep in the bed. You got that one right. Where it is, Chris Perez flew to Sweden, was never seen again. He was bummed senseless. Put him back on the plane. I need a spot after that Swift 99. Oh, Big Billy Cullen will be back on the streets dealing soon enough. You better help me. JB, you're getting slid a bit of cash and claw, old Billy Cullen. Do you know what I'd love now, man? I'd love it if some benevolent big pharma merchant was like, here, Maloney, hey, I don't want anything for it. Just take this big fucking ball of cash. And I'd be like, what's the catch, man? I mean, what's going on here? No. Just take it. I've loads of it. What you mean, like? What's the catch? There is no fucking catch. That's what I'm trying to tell you. There's a balling of money there. Go and build a conservatory or something for yourself. But I don't own any property, mate. I will fucking get a jet ski. I'm like, oh yeah, all right, but fair enough. And I would just take the big chunk of brown envelope and just like put a deposit on a house or something like boring. You know what I mean? Just whereas like 15, 20 years ago, if someone gave me a big ball of money and I had no other money, I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to buy a Ferrari. I can finally afford a fucking car. I mean, that's the kind of daft shit I would have done when I was 22. Yeah, I've come a long way since then. Fair play to me. Ireland, Republic of Ireland, yet again, the one big wave of hyper-consciousness, gargantua, that is you. Kieran Patrick, thank you very much for such loquacious commentary. You know what I mean? Fucking fair play. Well, Johnny Sullivan, I was gonna. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. I was sent a Reddit link by a friend, Stevie. We'll just say his name was Stevie. Won't give out any fucking names, man. But he sent me a link to a discussion on Reddit about Hardy Books. Well, anyway, my good friend Stevie Morris. For fuck's sake, I get the fucking name away, man. He gave me the link anyway, man. He gave me the fucking link to this discussion that was going on. And I don't want to I'm not going to give the fucker's name away because I'll only be giving him credence. And I don't want to give credence to bad cunts on the internet. But I found a very, it was just one of these interesting things where people just talk made up shit and pass it off as fact. But then I was looking at this guy's posts, and I was like, he's a bit of a fucking pub talker anyway. But someone was talking. So obviously there's people who are watching this channel that some of you have commented. So that it was like, Hardy Buck's ever going to make another series? So it's been like 3 years, and it was like 3 years before that. And in fairness, there's a pandemic on, and Mayo is generally pretty badly hit. But it seems like the show has ended, maybe with the most recent episode, Series 4. Hardly any updates. It's hard to know. It is hard to know, even for me. Fuck knows. I mean, most of us would do it. To answer this thread, yeah, most of us would do it. Especially if there was a fucking balling of coin in it. Oh, you'd be surprised who'd do it then. But it says here, seems like there was a falling out. The fellow who plays Durkin had stateside on his podcast. And he went on a nasty rant about the other cast members, promising to rape Tordoff if he saw him. And again, ripping the piss out of one of the lads for having a brain tumor. Don't remember that. Nasty stuff to the point it didn't seem like a joke. Genuine hatred. But sure, that's just stateside, man. And what to say here? So someone writes this, yeah. Maloney's only a scumbag anyways. He stole my girlfriend's drink when she was out in Galway. And when she called him on it, he told her to fuck off and threw a lit cigarette at her. He didn't need to do much acting for that character. Anyways, I'd say if that were what was true, what probably happened was I stole his pint, then stole his girlfriend, and then he threw a cigarette at me, and then I bent him over and I bummed him. That's probably what happened, and everyone in Roisin Dove was doing this. Fucking Maloney, man. He's brilliant, man. And now he's on Reddit trying to make out it was the other way around. If anything, he was trying to suck the pants off me, man. Do you know what I mean? I was just like, look, man, I'm not gay. I was like, all right, gives a quick nosh. Do you know what I mean? I was like, and I felt all bad about it then. So then I had to go home and give his girlfriend a good going over. You see, this is fake. Like the comment he wrote. Do you know what I mean? I've been fucking training. It's good to see you all, lads and ladies. It's good to see you all. Quick cheeky nosh to get out of your system, lad, says JB, which if you switch the fucking words around, it becomes BJ. Fucking beautiful mind, Russell Crowe job. 44 Pets, says Stephen Leonard. Is The Tailor of Panama the most underrated Pierce Brosnan movie of all time? Is that the film where he played a CIA agent who was riding around on a red sports bike? I remember seeing that film when I was about 12 going, wow, look, it's got James Bond in it from when he was vaguely famous. Yes, if you don't like it, maybe you shouldn't be living here. Yeah, Taffin, man. I've probably spoke about this about 15 times, but there's an amazing scene in Taffin where for some reason, like this doesn't really happen in many small coastal Irish towns or many even big cities during the day. But during the day, there was a bunch of moody lads who were working in this big factory that was causing a lot of shite in town, man. Yeah. Big American factory full of fucking hard lads with guns and hard hats. And Pierce Brosnan was like a local enforcer or debt collector who was basically, I haven't seen a film for about 10 years, but this is how I remember it. This is my synopsis. He basically is a one-man army taking on a huge mega national corporation that has probably set up a factory in Bray or somewhere like that. But there's one scene where there's a stripper on like a Wednesday afternoon, lunchtime, in a bar. And there's this fucking extra, like an Irish lad who's just been put into the mix. And I don't think he's seen a naked woman of that form for about 30 years. So above the table, he's playing it all cool, calm, and collected. But underneath, his fucking knee is going like a whacker plate, man. I recommend you watch that scene. That song, Burning of the Midnight Oil, reminds me of a crap time when I was about 19. And there was a bird I fancied. And I took her back to my sister and brother-in-law's house. And, you know, I was staying there as a 19-year-old, and yeah, basically I was shit scared of my sister waking up and catching me in the act. So being a good boy, I fell asleep on the chair while she had the couch, and then in the morning I went up to go to the toilet and met my brother-in-law on the landing. And I was like, please don't mention anything, but I've got a friend downstairs. Who's downstairs? And then my sister just goes, has he got some fucking whore downstairs? So that kind of killed that relationship at the beginning of the college year. So I remember going to a house party in Kildare town, and she got off with some other lad. And I just remember hearing people playing that song over and again going, it was depressing, but I've come a long way since. Great, good days, great memories, solid times. Yeah, that was back in the day. Teenage years, they were. You often look back and be like, oh, they were fucking easy times, man. You don't have to worry about like, you had superficial kind of worries, but there was the shit sides of basically being non-worldly. When you're a young dude out in the world, sometimes you're like a stone in a river. The river of life just washes the corners off you, makes you all smooth. Man, oh man, taking chats at house parties in Dublin, just walking back by yourself in the morning, all your mates around Dunleary and Glenageary, Killiney and Dorky. They've all fucked off, gone to their nice posh houses. And I remember walking around unfamiliar places in my Van skate shoes I bought from Shoe on O'Connell Street. You should go in, there's often some good bargains. Dunleary Boat Harbor, I was once there for a wedding. Really nice stage. They really did have a nice knowledge of wines. The next day I saw Ryan Tuberty, and I didn't want him to see me, 'cause I was driving a black Almira, and it looked like shit. Pills in Dunleary, I had crabs in my socks, smell of stingrays, fat lads in flip-flops. Bring a tear to a glass eye. Had to take the bus into town. Smelled of old nicotine smoke, and boy was I coming down. Shit parties, summer nights, shit fucking parties on those summer nights. Well, I took some chats in Dunleary, and I went to Killiney Beach. I hung out with some people And then the cops came and raided it. There must have been about 4 dozen torches coming down the steps. They turned off the generator and a helicopter flew overhead, dancing in the moonlight. I'd taken some speckled hearts that night, dance in the moonlight. There was no music left. There was one lad who went to Trinners and he studied himself some law. He quoted section something of the article of the something. They're not allowed to arrest you. Then he got smacked on the back of the head by a guard with a nightstick. That made him go quiet. Then he left in a heap. So there we go. How long have I been playing guitar? I'll tell you how long I've been playing guitar. Since June 2000, when I fell off my amp. It's a Blackstar 40 valve amp. She's a fucking beast. Just got to go and get me snooze. 1 second, Lars. Oh. Hello, Molish. I'll tell you one thing. There's nothing like doing a few fucking gigs in front of pissheads to get you back in match fit. It's like being a fucking boxer, man. You can go to sparring sessions and do all that, but then it's when you hop in the ring and have a good fucking scrap, you learn from your mistakes. Since God was a boy, Valve-matic. What's the crack there, Timmy Reedy? I like the sound of it. June 2000, no wonder you're fucking class A. Thanks very much, JB. Eddie, shout out a man called Barney Big Balls. Oh, we're at this fucking crack again, man. Barney Big Balls. Did you ever listen to this? Yeah, I'm very bluesy. The Peter Kay thing seems like it may have influenced Hardy Bucks, the Ice Cream Man, and one in particular. We watched it when it came out, but it's something that is very funny, but I hadn't seen it for a long time. It was mostly Peep Show and Peep Show, The Office, and Trailer Park Boys were probably, and Alan Partridge would be the big four. Fionn was going to do the winning stroke tonight, but saw this beast was on live. Good choices made, boys. Hey, Fionn, you can always go and fucking pull yourself asunder later on. Jab it out, boys. It's Timothy O'Toole. Hugh Janus, is it? Tell Hugh Janus to go fuck himself. So what has been going on? I saw there was what's going on in the news, man? And it give me some shit to talk about, because I always come on. I'm like, I will write a list about stuff, but then when I look at it, it kind of ruins the flow. Not a bank holiday here in the grim north, unfortunately. Yeah, so it's bank holiday today. Well, did you have good crack? Where were you? Were you in the States, were you? Hugh would be very disappointed after Martin told him to go fuck himself. Yeah, Hugh Janus. It's a bad doing, man. Connor is done. Is someone talking? Oh yeah, we didn't talk about the. Sorry, about the McGregor fight. Fucking hell, man! Like it was one of them times where like I was up, but I wasn't able to watch it, and my mate Rod was like, "Fuck me, Connor's dead, man." I was like, "What?" And he went, "Oh no, I just broke his leg." But yeah, Craig Fisher, myself, and Owen wrote that, and it was a great tune, and he never wrote another one again, which was a bit of a shame. But McGregor needs to retire with what little dignity he has left, said Joseph Sullivan. Yeah, I mean, how'd you come back from an injury like that, man? I mean, obviously, well, people have, but like Anderson Silva did. But it was a bad old fucking doing, man. JB, I shook Buzz's hand one night in Swords when I saw you live. Haven't washed that hand since. Fuck COVID. Jeez, that was a wild night, man. It was the wrong venue to be doing a play. There was one stage where I was looking up a flight of stairs, and we'd had this ad hoc changing room down the bottom of the staircase, and there was just lads trying to climb over, and they looked like they had like two polo mints stuck up their nose. I was like, fuck me, there's some boys here who like the dust. They like the dust. They want to get the dust and swords. Put it up the nose using the sword. So much dust that night. So much dust. The crack was good. Yeah, I realized about that gig that it was, I'd say if we were just talking shite on stage for an hour, it would have been exactly what people would have wanted. Just talking, just be on stage, go, where are you coming from? Oh, where'd you get the fucking sussies from? This kind of stuff. It would have been more crack than expecting people who were coming out for a wild night to look at a stage show in a nightclub. Didn't really make sense, but we'll know for again. The crack was mighty, to be fair. It was. He should have never boxed Loud Mayweather. The injury, he was talking mad shit with his leg fucked on the ground. He won't regain any dignity until he breaks his jaw and shuts the fuck up. It's funny, as a lot of people have really turned against him in recent years. It went from like Budweiser cashing in on his adverts by being like, Budweiser, Diageo, Bush Beers, to be like, one guy, a story about a lad who grew up in, fucking Crumlin and all. And they had like, pictures of like lads playing 90s, early 2000 boys being like, we're going to boxing gym, man. And then it was like a reconstruction, but everyone was like, we're here to take over. And hey, at the end of the day, he did well, boy. He did well. He's got 100 million in dignity. He made a couple of dignity wedges for a play to him. Dancing in the moonlight. What's your opinion on value engineering in the construction sector? I can't stick with steel, man. I stick with steel every time. Fucking emotional, man. Conor should have retired after the Mayweather fight. Well, the thing is, like he's still young. Do you know what I mean? And like, what age is he now? He's about 6 or 7 years younger than me. He's about 32 now, is he? 33. Like, if he gets the pins put in the leg and he fully recuperates, he can duke it out, man, and make a few quid. Like, do you know what I mean? He can. Les Paul or Strat? Is that this? Which is a Strat, but I have a Les Paul as well. But what's my favorite? Probably the Strat, to be honest with you. I've probably played that guitar about 3 times this year, which is a bit of a fucking shame considering it's a nice American Gibson. But yeah, I wouldn't mind a telly as well, actually. Not a television, no, Telecaster. Kevin E. Murphy, I've started dating a Bulgarian mountain as a man of the world. Do you have any advice? I don't really have much. Well, all I can say is fair fucking play to you, man. It's a good start. I don't know the crack with Bulgarian culture really, but hey, look, you got yourself a woman, and that's fucking sound. Never been to Bulgaria actually. If he had a Nakamura jab, he would have won. He fucking would have, man, and that's fucking gospel, according to Brian McFadden. Find it in the lover's eyes. Should I do a Westlife song for the crack? It's all about that bridge pickup on the telly. Ross Finn. Yes, I think it is. I was actually playing one last week in a guitar shop. I went in to buy strings, and then some guy was playing a real nice slappy sound on a Vox amp. And I said, it sounds good, mate. Sounds nice. He went, yeah, it's 90, 80. I'm like, wow, that's older than me. Huh. I wish I could say the same to myself. I'm born in 65. And I was like, wow, you're born in 65, man. It's 18 years older than me. And then I tried it out. It was a nice little touch. And yeah, you're right. When I put it into the bridge pickup, unreal, man. Unreal. I reckon he'll go off the rails without any attention during recovery, etc. I'd say, look, like you know, even the most wildest of fuckers, unless you're like Ollie Reed or Keith Moon, eventually come close to some pretty mad shit that, like myself included, that makes you just go, all right, you need to slow down, just calm it down a bit. So we'll see. I mean, like, at the end of the day, he can do whatever he wants. He can just start pumping money into different organizations and then become the next Richard Branson, as in Branston Pickle, the owner of the Branston Syndicate. So what do you think about Jeff Bezos going into space? It's funny, like, what is it with all these billionaire wankers just like going into space, yet they're destroying stock that isn't used? I saw an ITV special about all the wastage that Amazon are doing. Fucking sickening, man. Fucking sickening you. And there are people fucking skint and they're blasting themselves off into space. Fucking fuck that shit. Timothy O'Toole says he won't fight again unless it's Khabib. No one is worthy in his eyes. Let him fight Khabib. Let him fucking do it, man. Like, I think it's, you know, he'll have to be fucking training. Do you know what I mean? Conor should have went with the Viper for footwork training. He would have been reptilian in his movements. That is a very good point, JB. That's a very good point indeed. Jamie Edwards, Amazon employees pissing in bottles powered his space flight, wanker. Jamie Edwards, yes, exactly. You know, like what kind of, you know, we're moving into a fucking neo-feudalist system where, you know, it used to be for like empires and kingdoms would just take everything while you had a huge peasantry class. But nowadays, thanks to aviation and shipping lines and transportation with trucks, roads, and instant communications, these fuckers have just managed to garrison everything. So nice one. What a fucking shitstorm we've been handed. Graham Russell, Shamir Rovers are going to get promoted, man. Fucking hope so, man. Straight into League One. How are you doing, Graham, lad? Fuck that shite, says Steve. These billionaire clowns wasting billions while millions dying of starvation around the world. They don't care, man. Do you know what I mean? There's enough. Like, man, there's plenty. Do you know what I mean? I think all this overpopulation is a load of shite as well. Basically, they say it's overpopulated, but most of the food we eat is mass-produced and wasted. You know, like, I think if everyone just kind of had a little plot of land where they start growing their own veg for a start, like our grandparents fucking did. And I tell you one thing, they were great fucking spuds. Oh, you had to watch out for the wireworms, man. And just fucking put a bit of old, whatever the fuck, vinegar on some plants, keep the flies away. You know what I mean? It's like that film Elysium. It is, man. Rosine, I was actually thinking to myself today. You know, I heard something about Obama is having 500 people over to his compound in some famous vineyard. What's it called? It's got a woman's name. If anyone in the chat knows it. But he's basically having a party with like 500 guests and Pearl Jam and doing a gig at it. So you know what sickens me? Like the likes of my favorite artists growing up, Pearl Jam and fucking Foo Fighters. They seem to be really pushing the old corporation, big pharma shit. Oh yeah, that was another thing someone wrote about me on that Twitter thread that I've gone mad into the anti-lockdown crack. I'm like, yeah. I mean, like, why the fuck would anyone want the government to tell you what to do, man? Especially with your civil liberty and freedom. I'm all about living wild and free, cause I'm a oh, I can't change. Want you fly free bird, yeah. Martha's Vineyard, thank you very much. Yeah, man, I'm all about freedom. Fucking give people their own. That's why Sweden has really impressed me. I don't give out about Sweden anymore. I used to always be complaining about it, but now I'm like, fair fucks Sweden. Jaquarius Quantavius Jermichael Jr., how are you doing? Well, you've gone mad, mate. I'm with you. Yeah, look, I mean, look, I don't slag people off. I don't have any ill sentiments, but I just wish that people would do their own fucking research instead of watching every national news service. I think is look, at the end of the day, science, politics, media. You know, money is no object to these fuckers who are making billions. Apparently, Pfizer made 33 billion in profit this year. 33 billion. And sometimes I'm like, I mean, it's not really beyond the realms of us, but if you consider like how psychopathic people are, right? In how are you, Kelly O'Brien? Fucking Mealik's finest. But if you consider how psychopathic people are, as in going from past atrocities, and then you combine that with godlike powers and technology, why is it so out of the realms of possibility? Like people are like, no, it's what is it? The illusion of permanence. It's where people they grow up and they have this like normalcy bias. You know, especially in the West, we've been fortunate to live in like under the last 70 years, 75 years of relative prosperity and freedom. And yeah, as had many people before World War One, World War Two, you know, but this illusion of permanence that people are like, oh, it's great. I'll tell you one thing, like I was looking at some of the rhetoric on like Irish Reddit as well. Just the way people are fucking talking, man. It's I can see this kicking off and starting a big fucking war. Basically, those who are loyal to governments who are basically paid off by giant pharmaceutical companies and fucking assholes like BlackRock. Look into BlackRock, the I don't know if it's like an asset management company or what the actual title is. But yeah, look into BlackRock. They own everything. Like there's apartments down the fucking road here. They're buying them up apparently. Justin Scrobe, power will always capitalize on chaos. Fuck them. Yeah, that's a brilliantly stated comment. They do, man. They foment chaos. There's a game. The other about 10 years ago I played. It was Command and Conquer Tiberian Wars, but they had this game in it where it was kind of like an overall global war. So you had Nod, the Wrath of Cain, which were the baddies, and you had GDI, which were kind of the good guys. But basically, when you would play as Nod, the bad guys, what you would do is you cause civil unrest in countries that would lead to conflict and hot wars, and that's what these fuckers have been doing since day one, man. They just cause shite, and everyone else is fighting and blaming each other, and then it's like, we'll have plenty of that, mate. Last week was a shite week for rock and metal. Lost and talented musicians. Who died, man? Who died now? Steve, me pal got the clap off his old bird and he's fucked. Worse than COVID. Yeah, you want to get the old Zithromax into you, man. We've all been there at some stage. Put a Johnny on it. Johnny's got you covered. As my uncle once told me, Stenden Prick has no conscience. Command and Conquer is now Divide and Conquer. Joey from Slipknot died, did he? Which one's that, man? They've all got masks on. Hold on, I'll have a little look at Joey from Slipknot. Joey Friends. No, not him. Wait, was he from Iowa, was he? Oh, really? He was the guitarist, was he? No, he's the drummer. What happened to him? Bad old Oon, man. Bad old Oon. And what happened to him? He was the one in the mask. He sure was, Paradox Chemist. Died in his sleep. Fucking hell, man. Fucking died by. Says here, even on SVT, Sweden was like, Slipknot, did he get trummis? Joey Jordison är död. Joey Jordison lämnade Slipknot 2013 efter 18 år och 3 album. Året efter avhoppet påstod han att han sparkats från bandet. Which basically means he left it 2003 after 18 years and 3 albums. Is that it? 3 albums. The year after he jumped off, he said that he was fired from the band. Not good. Not good. What is it with drummers dying early, man? It's like the guy from Stereophonics as well. Mad Nigel. He's one of, like, I remember they were trying to do that video. Mr. Writer, why don't you tell it like it always is? And they were all trying to look serious, and he was in the back like this going. So probably a man, Kelly, what's his name? Kelly Stafford. That's actually a porn actress. Kelly Jones, is it? Kicked him out. He didn't leave. The bastards. Yeah, it always seems like the drummers seem to really be pushing it to the limit, and they get a bit too crazy for the bands, and the bands get all they get all corporate, and they're like, you know, talking to the record labels and like, look, man, you know, we're gonna try. We're really gonna put off this demographic of certain accountant folk if we keep being this edgy. We want to play and party in the park. We really need that gig. It's a big payday. You're smashing up hotel rooms, man. It's just not a good look. Kelly Jones, yeah. And does anyone else remember that? Oh, Kerrang. Yeah, funny enough, I remember accidentally getting into being a huge System of a Down fan. Because I remember going over to Tordov's gaff because he had Sky, and we'd be like just laughing at like, "Cut my life into pieces," all these like new metal videos. And I remember looking at Toxicity, or what's the name, Chop Suey, and me and Chris were just laughing at it. Oh, you learn. We were laughing away at it, like, and then we bought the album for a laugh, and then just fucking really got into it. ZZ Top guy died of natural causes. Which one from ZZ Top died? The lad with the beard, not Billy Gibbons, man. Not the lad who did this. Oh, that's the one. Yeah, Kerrang was good, man. It was good. I enjoyed that. Raw Power Hour. You got that one right, Stevie. Yeah. What else should we talk about? I was supposed to do this about 2 hours ago, but the kids are really fecking about, wouldn't go to bed on time. I mean, again, it's something that their mother complains about. Why aren't they in bed? What time did you put them to bed? I'm like, oof, must have been about 11, and gives me shit for that. But then again, I was like, well, when I was a kid, my dad used to let me stay up till 5. I used to watch really cool American stuff and Prisoner Cell Block H, about a lot of Australian women who were put into a prison, and the fucking screws used to give them shit. And there was a really bad bastard character in it called Vinegar Tits, a.k.a. Ferguson. She must have been one of those Ulster Scots who play for Rangers. Billy Gibbons uses 7s on his guitar. Lightest touch in music, apparently. Jesus, 7s. That's like angel hair pasta. Like Rammstein, they're £100 a ticket to see Rammstein. But saying that, you should get a good bang for your buck there with the old Border Technics. I haven't seen Rammstein live. I was actually recanting a time I went to Roskilde Festival and got pretty fucking steamed, and someone gave me a brownie that was chocolate orange flavor. And I was looking forward to seeing Audio Slave, and my only memory of it is just seeing Chris Cornell up on stage right in front of me. I was like, wow, there he is. No memory of the gig after that. And then Sabbath played afterwards, which was fucking unreal. And then a really hot German girl called Nina took me back to a caravan on the edge of town. And by God, these Newcastle lads were like, "Wait, what are you doing talking to us, man? She's mad into you." And I was like, really? And then I went back to his caravan, and this dude was this German guy she came with was in like he was trying to give me like 100% rum, fucking like paint stripper, and like she was kissing me on the bed in the back of this fucking caravan, and he just takes out a digital camera and starts taking pictures of me, and I was like, whoa, nah, what's going on here, man? And yeah, we went to the tent, and then powerful times. Should have fucking got that woman's number. Probably written on the back of a Marlboro Lights box somewhere that ended up in the bin. Well, what can you do? Show me how to live, drop D. Show me how to live. Oh, yeah. I thought you were saying, show me how to live in drop D. And I was like, that'd be fucking heavy, man. Bo, doo, 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 doo. JB, Vinegar Tits, fucking Ferguson. And there was a woman caught in Cell Block H. I wonder, can I get the Cell Block H theme tune on chords and I'll sing it? Cell Block H theme chords. Oh, lovely. Fucking brilliant, man. Someone's actually got this up. Okay. Oh, I don't like the way. I mean, can't they just show it? I would like it if they actually show me the fucking chords, man. No chord, C, B minor. Okay, fair enough. I'll try this. I don't know what I'm dealing with, but it's like, he used to bring me roses, but that was on the outside. He used to bring me roses, but that was on. No, I don't fuck it. There has to be another one where I have the lyrics as well. Codify.net. Come on. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. No, it's the same. What is it? There's like a load of these websites that have the same interface. Codify. Here we go. Now we're talking on the inside. So this would be the opening theme. And it goes like this. He used to bring me roses. Wish he could again. But that was on the outside. Things were different then. We built our world together. Sorry about that. Yeah, it was next time we'll finish that. Strictly on the Polynesian hash tonight, Jack. Sexy Beast and Long Good Friday shit all over Lock, Stock, etc. Sexy Beast, a great film. Sorry, I'm going to turn that down. No, you're going to have to turn that. Yes. How do you say in German, you gotta go home, love? You just can't stay here. I'd like to know if anyone can speak and see Deutsch. That would be nice. Roshi Mac, I love that theme tune. I used her name, Lynn Hamilton, as my Protestant name when in certain clubs and pubs during the Troubles. Hey, Lynn Hamilton, what about you? Kelly O'Brien, so nice to hear soul language. Kelly O'Brien is a sound woman, and your dad looks like Big Mick. Oh, they always get confused with each other. He's also really sound like my uncle. I've even thought they were separated at birth. Same height and have the same skin. Same height and they have the same complexion. That is true. Graham Russell, how many insults can you make with the word bell? Okay, I'll give a couple. Bell cheddar, bell smith, bell whiff, bell shine, bell ringer, bell squeeze, bell hider, ring the bell, school's in, sucker. Ring my bell, peel my bell, bell juice, bell end, of course, obvious one. Bell tower. Don't know. Shut up, you fucking bell tower. Bell shine. Jim McDonald spanked. What's it say here, Dr. David? Jim McDonald spanked Les Battersby's bare arse when he found him cleaning his back windows. Bell cheese. 1969, the man. Keep it going. Brian Bell, isn't he the guitarist from Weezer? Bell X1. There's more. Bell Regarder. Bellboy Extremist. Blame it on the Bellboy. Featuring Dudley More. Are you tipping along? Sorry, the lads are chatting in the chat group. For whom the bell tolled. For whom the bell tolled. Give her the rusty bell bottom. Bell Bottom Blues by Clapton. Bell Bottom Blues. Bell Bash. That's a good one, Tom Beatty. Bell Bash. Bell Basher. It's funny, I remember having this conversation with a girl I was dating over in New York back in 2006 about how in Liverpool and Merseyside you could take any noun and affix it with a adjective to create any insult. Usually most of them are sexual innuendos that come with it. BBD, what's that, Shawneen? Belbiv DeVoe. Belbiv DeVoe. That's an interesting one, Jade. Courtney Love's Bellhole. Did Courtney Love have something to do with Kurt doing a bit of this? Bizarre. Bellboy Baggins. Neo, that's a brilliant one. Bellboy Baggins. Bellboy Baggins. Have you seen him? Do you know him? Ryan Fogarty asks, what are the 3 tips to get a girl into bed with you? You got to be reasonably good looking. Have a mutual attraction, and thirdly, a pre-arranged understanding of hard loving. Don't know, really. Just read The Game, featuring Neil Strauss, a bald man who didn't really have a prominent jawline or any special good-looking features, but just wore loads of jazzy clothes and talked a lot of nonsense. That worked in the mid-90s now, but things have changed. The landscape has changed. Pickup artists, man. What a wanky phase of life that was. Do you know what I mean? I remember Justin Masler having beef with Tucker Max back in the day when I was living there, and he went down to film some beef with some of Tucker Max's minions. It was a really weird time in culture. That was. It was basically, you'd have like Tucker Max would just turn up to sororities, treat women like shit, and get them to do his laundry, and they all loved him. I could never understand that. I guess it was like kind of the prelude to like Jake Paul behavior. But fucking Jimmy Bars, mate, you're very welcome. But yeah, that was a really weird time. You had like Mystery, you know, these dudes who would just go up and they would just peacock by wearing really daft shite, like Jamiroquai hats and goggles and stuff. And yeah, I remember being on the subway coming back from Manhattan back to Brooklyn with Crazy Justin. Sorry, I didn't mean Crazy. Well, didn't mean that. If Just never watches this, I wasn't speaking bad about you, mate. I wish you well. But he was saying it was these guys behind us, and they didn't look like they were compatible. They were from like different demographics, and they were all like, "Yo, tonight I got like 5 numbers, man. Whoa, awesome! You got 5 numbers. You get any numbers? No, I didn't get any numbers tonight, man. How about you? Yeah, I got a number." And then he turns around and he was like, "Yo, dudes, you're just talking shit from like the game." And they were like, "Oh," he called them out on it. Isabel Fannin, it's my birthday. Fair play to you. How are you getting on, Isabel? Happy birthday to you. I'll be like, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Isabel Fannin. Happy birthday to you. So there you go. Happy birthday there to anyone else who happens to have their birthday on the time of watching this. It's your pill day, says Shawnee. Dr. David. Birds love Paddy Casey, white jeans, and a good critical knowledge of what went on in Stalingrad. Yeah, Paddy Casey. He's always getting work, man. I remember when we were in the Bowery, or the promoter was like, "Martin, do you know anyone who wants Paddy Casey tickets? I can't give them away." Greetings from Arizona. Arizona, 1962. Turbo. Dump valve. Keep well hydrated. Daihatsu. Yeah, Arizona. Whereabouts are you? Are you in? The Mojave part of the Arizona? I'd say it's fucking hot out there in Arizona. I mean, it would be because it's like in a desert. But I'd like to go sometime. I'd like to do there's a place here. There's a pub or like a rock kind of bar, but it's not like it's got the potential to be a great place, but it attracts a certain narrow, nuanced bandwidth of 1960s to 70s American rockers who were jorts, wear cloth bags and have long hair, and in the winter wear really skinny, tight jeans. And it's a bit pretentious, and a lot of the women in that clique have been to the Mojave Desert to take pictures of themselves wearing like suede tassel jackets with large sun hats in front of Joshua trees. So if I went to Arizona, I would just look moody and edgy like Bono and the Boys at a Joshua tree. And I'd be going, all is quiet on New Year's Day. Bono's made a lot of fucking money. It's true, it's true. He made a lot of money. So much cash from iTunes. I made so much money. With George Bush and Bobby Geldof. Play us a bit of Joy Division for the crack. Could do. But then we might all end up doing ourselves in a broom cupboard. Radio. Bono bought County Leash on the Hush Hush. Hey, with some fucking change left over, hey. I'm way off to the labber. Big luck. Han Mayo. Jimmy Bars. Good night, God bless, lovely lad. Stay green, Pony Boy. I also got Bono's Rolex fixed in Phoenix for him when they were on tour 2005 or so. I thought he said you'd found his Rolex in Phoenix Park, and I was like, fucking some find, man. Got steamed Reek Sunday Next morning, climbed Crow Patrick. The human body can do great things. Indeed, it can, Fionn. Myself and the lads used to go climbing the Reek at night in the pitch black. The first time we tried to do it, there was just a massive rain cloud on the top of it, and we had to then abort the mission because we probably would have got exposure, and the mountain rescue would have had to come up, and we would have been very silly boys. But we did climb the Reek often at night, which is it's good crack. A lovely view of Westport and Clare Island. So is Conor McGregor more famous than Bono was? That's a very good question. I'd say he probably was, to be honest with you. I'd say who if you think Bono is more famous, put 1 in. If you think McGregor is more famous, put 2 in. Because I remember at one stage, Eddie Greenheart, you're welcome to the show. I think they in 2016, like Trump and McGregor was like the biggest thing on the internet at that stage. Viagra boys, I've heard of them, Liam. Yeah. 3. Gotta say 1, but they're both twats. Funny enough, I've met both of them on separate occasions. I met Bono when I was 19 in the Clarence Hotel because me and him, like, how beach are we getting on? I went up Crow Patrick once and came across the Edge taking a shite up there into his own beanie hat. I stole the toe off me boot so far up his hole. Bono is really Leonardo DiCaprio in drag. Bono for sure, Southpaw. Hello, yeah. In fairness, man, Bono must have some shady connections. Like, he's there, the World Economic Forum, Bush, Blair. Look at Tony Blair, man. He's really pushing this fucking lockdown, and anyone who refuses to be injected, he's like, we really must go after them with the full might of the military. Yeah, if you look at George Galloway was talking about, they have a movie they've done about the killing of Dr. David Kelly that they made to look like a suicide. The only lad who was actually standing in the way of obliterating Iraq, which led to the Syrian conflict as well. And they're going after fucking Iran, but Iran fair fucks them. Standing firm. Roisin Mack, I used to go to the Crazy House. Oh, the Crazy House in Liverpool, mate. Had a lot of mates at uni in Liverpool. Very like the Cat House in Glasgow. Good crack. Yeah, the Crazy House. 3 floors of good times. Bono made South Park 2. That's right, yeah. Up there with Phil Collins Mountain. Whilst his taxes are done in Barbados or wherever it's free. Oh, man, when you make that much money, you don't have to pay taxes anymore. It's like that Robert Kiyosaki said when he goes, if you want to know how to get rich, you have to not... Like, it's like Starbucks. Starbucks, for example, rather than pay tax, they just open up another premises. That's why they're so sprawling and undulating wherever they touch. It's just like they dodged paying tax because they put it into other premises. That's why landlords in the States just buy massive portfolios of houses. Rather than paying tax, they just put expenses on. You'll see it over here in Sweden. You'll see lads who they'll have a business, and instead of them paying tax on the business, they'll buy like a Dodge Ram, and they have a stationery shop, and it's like, I need a 5-liter Hemi Dodge Ram for pulling around cardboard boxes filled with printing cartridges and posters of Bono. Amazon tax dodgers, yeah. He's tainted by it talking hard and losing again. Who's this? JB? Defo Illuminati confirmed. If you keep reinvesting capital gains, you avoid taxation. Yeah, you do, pretty much, yeah. So that's an easier way of putting it there, Shawnee. Stuff and thanks. Are house prices fucked over in Sweden too? Yeah, man. They're fucking... Like, the last 10 years, they've gone up like 400%. I shit you not. Used to be able to buy... You could buy like a house, an apartment I'm living in now for like 100,000 euro. Now it's probably up to about 3,500,000. It's fucking insane how expensive shit is over here. Again, you got people like BlackRock who are coming in, so everyone will be perpetually fucking renting off these pricks. Tom Beatty, I'm late to this. Let's have a gander at your guitar setup, dude. There you go. It's HSS American Strat. And over in the corner, you got a Black Star HT40. Bought that off a sound Turkish lad who was selling it. I got like a big case with it, but like it's just like carrying a fridge freezer around with you. So it's not the most practical of things. So I don't really bring the amp with me because it weighs about 30 kg or something. Look up Ahmed Shah Massoud and what he did and the exact date he was assassinated if you want to go down a rabbit hole. Oh, really? We'll have a little look at this and see what the crack is here, hey. Let me see. Would Wikipedia be good enough for it, or would that be a load of old shite? Because anyone can fucking write whatever they want on. That guy looks a bit familiar, actually. I think I might have seen him before. What to say here? France 24. Don't trust them, Macron cunts. Deny those cookies. Oh yeah, man. This cookie shit so fucking annoying as well. GDPR bollocks. Ahmed Massoud, the son of Afghan commander Ahmed Shah Massoud, who was assassinated by Al Qaeda 2 days before 9/11 attacks, granted an interview with France 24 in Paris. Massoud expressed concern at the prospect of US troops leaving the country in May, warning that a rushed exit would lead to civil war in Afghanistan. Well, that's definitely going to fucking happen. You know what I mean? He also condemned last year's deal reached between the US and the Taliban, calling it a mistake. So this dude, he's of a, what's the crack with this lad? Because there's a couple of different factions there, isn't there? Massoud stressed he believed the ensuing intra-Afghan talks were a failure and warned if the US decided to withdraw troops hastily, Afghanistan would fall into another chaos, violence, and civil war. Asked about the May 1st deadline for withdrawal of the US deal with the Taliban, Massoud urged the Biden administration to show patience. He said favor the proposal set out by US Secretary. Yeah, but finally he affirmed that his late father's vision of a decentralized country modeled on Switzerland was even more relevant today than it was 20 years ago, and the only way to finally bring peace to Afghanistan. That's interesting. I will have a little look at that. Neo, property tax sucks ass too. Seems like housing gone up everywhere. Average price in my city is 750k Canadian now. Fucking hell, man. See, this isn't. You look at what a house is, bricks and mortar style. What is it? I mean, the thing has been built, and often like 50, 60 years ago, more maybe. Why is it so expensive? Do you use DuckDuckGo? Apparently, that's just as shite as DuckDuckGo. Wikipedia bad, says Kelly. Graham Russell, if Sweden won any medals in the Olympics, I couldn't give a fuck for the Olympics, man. I never really did give a shit about the Olympics. Fucking boring. Get yourself an SM57 to plug into the interface so we can hear the guitar at source. Yeah, that'd be a good thing to do, actually. I did have an SM57 at home in Mayo. I don't know what the fuck happened to it. DuckDuckGo, is that Wikipedia for the cool kids? That's JB. DuckDuckGo is a search engine that's focused on privacy. Yeah, I think Brave browser is probably the best one to go with. But I still use Google Chrome, and they're harvesting my fucking data. Data from Star Trek. He was also the long-haired dude in Independence Day. He got possessed by a fucking alien. He's played by Brent Spinner. Brent Spinner, Brent Spinner, Brent Spinner, ooh, ooh, Brent Spinner, Brent Spinner. Make it so, number one, make it so, number one. Dr. Beverly Crusher. Was she afraid of spiders? Her son was the kid from Stephen King's Stand By Me. The older version of himself was played by Richard Dreyfuss. In real life, his name was Will Wheaton. Ask yourself a question, where is he now? Sorry about that, it was a bit of a stream of consciousness. Beverly Crusher's son was a gobshite. Funny enough, there's a lad in our town called Gary Beaver, and we were hanging out with his sister, and because his name was Beaver, we called him Bever to Beverly, and then it was Beverly Crusher. So when we were hanging out with his sister, it was like, oh, Beverly Crusher, man. She's fucking asshole, man. Who's Beverly Crusher? Oh, mate, you don't want to know. Some gobshite. And then one day she found out. She's like, yeah, I know a fucking Beverly Crusher. I know who it is. It's Gary, like. And we were like, oh, no, we've been rumbled. Will Wheaton is a nerd god in the US these days. Let's see what Will Wheaton's up to. Yeah, Will Wheaton. What are you at these days, man? Josh Whedon makes fucking shite films. Will Wheaton, fuck me, he's gone old. 72. Cunt's 11 years older than me. Will Wheaton, boy. Fucking Will Wheaton, boy. He looks a bit like, not Josh Ritter, but John Ritter. Oh, the John Ritter. Rest in peace, John Ritter. Do you remember Problem Child? I used to love that film as a kid. Problem Child 2. Also enjoyed that. LaWanda Dumore. Yeah. What's he up to these days, man? Has he done much lately? Jerry O'Connell. Jerry O'Connell's movies were a bit shite, to be fair. Yeah, he was in Stand By Me as well, with River Phoenix. And Donald Sutherland's son, Kiefer Sutherland. Snake. Oh, yeah. Let's see what his fucking tweets are all about. 2.7 million followers. He's doing all right, man, if he's that relevant to DEFCONs. What was this? Rebecca Metz, blue check mark, says, bookmark this for any time someone says, gun laws don't work, or I'd love to stop this, but there's no way to know how. Yes, they do, and yes, there is. We have data. We have evidence. Share it. 4 laws that could stem the rising threat of mass shootings. Pro-gun advocates claim new laws will not make us safer, but here is ever... Yeah, see, they're talking... Look, again, this crack about the guns, right? It's more of a systematic fucking thing that there's a lot of lunatics living in America, and also the fact that the feds have been often involved in starting fucking, going up to people who are like mentally challenged and then trying to get them to do mass shootings. They've been... It's kind of like the war on drugs or the war on terror. It's all fucked. Predator 2, growing up in Liverpool, Graham Russell, mate, used to talk about it in school. And I remember I hadn't seen Predator 2, but I used to always look at the back of the box in the video shop on the way home from school. And I still remember it was like, what was it? Fucking invisible. What was the tagline? Hold on. Predator 2 tagline. Silent, invisible, and out to kill or something. And I just remember seeing it going, fucking hell, yeah. Invisible, invincible, he's in town with a few days to kill, the ultimate hunter. So I used to always ask this lad in school, Martin Reeves, about what it was like, and he goes, oh, there was this fucking bit where like these Colombian drug dealers had a fight with these voodoo lords from Jamaica, and then there's a bit where this lad's shagging this woman with really big boobs, and then the voodoo lords who are working for King Billy come in and they stab him in the chest with a dead, jagged knife. Majin Lu, you changed the name there, fair play. Majin Lu, Damn, I missed you, Maloney. You got the sick blues licks on the old guitar licks. My respect. My family were all bluesmen, harmonica and guitars. Still have Grandpa's 50 Telecaster. Ooh, 50s Telecaster, man. I would have loved to have. I would have loved to have got my hands on one of them heirlooms. Grid Rain 741. Unibomber was part of the MK Ultra test. Got pumped to bursting with goofballs. Yeah, man, they're up to no good. All these administrations, they're not working for the fucking man or woman on the street. She didn't fucking Hoover set that up just to get shit on his rivals. Everything he just said was true. Lol. Says Joey Sullivan. Man, Joey. J4MT. How are your horsebacks? I'm fucking good, man. How are you? Good to see you. Shawnee Thornton. King Willie and the Jamaican Voodoo Posse. Great name for a band. It would be, actually. Jack Lad. Lad, what would you say to one of them big bankers? It's funny because I've met people like that before. And you'll often find that they're quite amicable and affable to talk to. You know, but then they'd be fucking absolutely cutthroat and ruthless in business. Fionn Maloney, what's the best movie and what you think of Fight Club and the way the lads live life? Best movie? I don't know. It's kind of like, it's like saying who do you love the most, your mum or your dad? It's kind of hard to think of one on top of my head. What to say here? But Tom Beatty, hasn't Chris Morris made a film along those lines, coercing likely lads into doing a dumb? Yeah, he has actually. He knows the fucking crack, because that's what they're doing. They apparently did the same thing with what the governor of Michigan, Whitmore or something. They were like half of the people indicted were fucking feds. Same thing with the shit in the Capitol. Apparently, there's about 10,000 hours of footage that hasn't been released. Best film I've seen is The Machinist. I remember seeing that in the cinema with my ex-girlfriend in 2005 here in Sweden. And there's a bit where they're going in the ghost train. It's like, the road to hell, left. And he's like, and the kid's like, go left. No, don't go left. Christian Bale, man, he's class at losing weight for films. Christian loses loads of weight for films. His body goes through diets of apples and ishka. I noticed Michael Ironside lost his arm in that. It seems Michael Ironside, he just plays a great lad for having his arms cut off in films such as See What the Party Richter, Total Recall, Starship Troopers, he loses the arm, and The Machinist. That's 3 movies I can think of where Michael Ironside loses the arm. Predator is the best movie and is not even close. Predator is the best movie, actually. I mean, it's one of those. Platoon is another great movie. Yeah, it's still got the steel bridge cover. No rust, tobacco burst. I will pass it on to the kids. Or nice to be buried with it in my 70s Colt Python. Oh, gotta love that. Thank you for the first super chat of the night. Who does this come in from? Milos Kaudin. How are you doing, Milos? Where are you from? Off to bed. Thank you thank you and good luck. Thank you very much for that, Milos. Is that a Finnish name? The Karhu. Thank you, Milos. Or is it Greek? Thank you very much. Can't say thank you in Finnish, but I will say Afgarastofile in Greek. Thank you very much for the super chat. I'll tell you one thing, you'd miss the old super chats or you'd miss the old bally in a wedge. Fucking Google haven't paid up this month, but I haven't really been doing any videos. I also wanted to say thank you to Mr. CM Fox as well for the very generous donation to the PayPal. It was very kind of you, mate. I appreciate that. And for everyone else who is also, if you are watching this later on, PayPal, Maloney's Digest, all the one. If you want to go directly to the source, I had a bit of fucking beef with PayPal. And all the money I'd saved up, I had to spend on boring shit like shopping and rent. So I was hoping to get a better computer, but one day hopefully things will turn around and get myself a nice big part in a fucking film or something. That's what I'm hoping for, man. I've never seen Jacob's Ladder. Still haven't seen it. Brian M., do you think Ian Bailey did it? Who's Ian Bailey again? To be honest, after watching the docs, I have more doubts than I did before. Ian Bailey. Isn't that the fucking singer with Phil Collins? Oh man, there was just a message retracted. I was like, that was a spicy one. Michael Ironside lost an arm in the original V series in the 80s. Yeah, with Robert England, Freddy Krueger. Met him once. Really nice guy. Very theatrical. Ian Bailey was implicated in the. Oh, that French thing, man. Yeah. Yeah. Any more Hardy Book chat shit coming? Do you know what? Looking at the numbers, I get as much listeners on this platform than I do the podcast. I really want to get another episode of the Hardy Book done, but it just takes so much time, man. Like the last one, I set the bar a bit too high, so I might just keep it in 20-minute chunks instead. Like I'd made some like 75 minutes of material that had taken like an hour to, or like a month to do. Milas Korean. I found out that Korean is also a surname in Scandinavia, but mine is from the Balkans, and has some history to it. Got to hit the sack, but it's Googleable to some extent. Thank you very much. I've got to check out the Balkans. The ex-wife was there on fucking holiday, looking for some. Someone got better deals than others, but fair play to her. Yeah, Croatia. I'd like to go to Croatia. Those dulcet tones, man. You like those dulcet tones? Listen to me. Cheers for that. Grid Rain. Yeah, I have chips and an air fryer and McDonald's curry sauce and cheese. I could well fucking do with curry cheese chips in the heat of the night, but it's not the same as chippy chips. Do you know what I mean? Chippy chips you get from the chipper after a lock of pints, or the Chinese chippers. Stay Green Pony Boy. Yo, I showed some actual Soulfly roadies your bit about Soulfly roadies from Hardy Books. Soulfly lives in Arizona. I actually met Max Cavalera's son after a Soulfly gig in Debaser a few years ago. And I was like, fair play to you, man. What's it like cruising around with your dad playing gigs? And he's like, yeah, it's fucking great. I was like, you're living the dream, boy. Living the dream. Double pedal jobs. DW drums. Papa Roach. Quite the feast, says Joey Sullivan. You fucking got that right fucking down now, hey boy. Neo, fuck's sake, I want fries now. I started frying mine in beef fat recently, and it's so good. Ooh, you want to be getting the cardio up, but it sounds fantastic. Yeah, I know. Max's boys, good dudes. Yeah, you know them, do you? They're good lads, man. Roads, bloody roads. Oh. Charles Moran, fair play to you for jumping in. Fucking Obama is having a mad one for the birthday up in the vineyards, but we have to stay locked up like dickheads. What's that all about? Well, I'll tell you what's all about. They're fucking taking the piss. And if people like myself fucking say it, it's like, ooh, anti-vax. Like that. This is the new fucking catch-all. If anything, they put a derogatory name for anyone who basically, is rightfully so distrustful of authority. So you get these fucking. I mean, I think some people don't. They know enough to don't know. Or was it? They know enough to know they don't know enough, or they don't know enough to know that they don't know anything. If you know your history, you can see that anytime anything has been done for your own good, it usually means some bad shit's afoot. And there was one quote, I actually saved this quote, which I think is a good fucking a good thing to remember, because if you follow ye old rhetoric on the internet lately, it's getting very fucking nasty and personal. But if here's a quote from Aldous Huxley, and that lad knew some dodgy shit. The surest way to work up a crusade in favor of some good cause is to promise people they will have a chance of maltreating someone, to be able to destroy with good conscience, to be able to behave badly and call your bad behavior righteous indignation. This is the height of psychological luxury, the most delicious of moral treats. And then underneath it, you have this guy called Rob Gill. blue check mark, who writes, I plan on laughing at the anti-vaxxers that are forced to eat in the rain from the comfort of inside a restaurant. Good on them. Do you know what I mean? I just kind of, mostly you talk to people who take it because they want their freedoms back. And if you give up your, like the old saying goes, man, if you give up your freedom for security, then you'll get neither, or you'll deserve neither. And I just, I think most people who are on my stream kind of are quite conscientious. There's like I said, if someone wants to get it, let them get it. But for me personally, I'm just like, well, let it be. Like, that's what I like about Sweden. They're saying, we recommend you get it, but we're not telling you. And what they've done in Ireland, you see, it's a very slippery slope, because it's a measurable way of people being able to. It's a very easy way of going down the us and them route. And it's not good, man. It's dividing families. It's dividing public opinion. It just feels like these fuckers who are in control just keep heaping shit on. I mean, I'm amazed how this became a left versus right fucking paradigm. I've noticed a lot of comments from people basically saying shit along the lines of Drago about the people who don't trust the government. If they die, they die. Yeah, I've seen that. People are really fucking getting really nasty. And it's just, what can you do? Raga said people vaccinated would be granted more freedoms. Scary 1980. Yeah, it's completely, man. It's such a fucking easy way. Like, first of all, the media are just stoking up bollocks, and then on top of that, then you have people who are too lazy to do their own research. They'll just, I mean, I don't know if they're too lazy. It's just that they haven't got the time or the interest in just basically having a little peek behind the curtain. Leighton, did you meet Axl Rose before? I swear I heard you mention it before somewhere. What was the story there? That was in 2006 in New York City in a bar called Embassy. And long story short, he took us to a place called Bungalow 8 in Midtown Manhattan, and we drunk with him till about 6 or 7 in the morning, and he was really sound. And he goes, I asked him, I said, so what's the story with Chinese democracy? He's like, oh, we're in the studio, you're working on some tracks, or I can't remember what he said. And he goes, I said, well, by the time that comes out, China will be democratic. And he's like, yeah, like I haven't heard that one before. But he goes, yeah, I like you, Martin. You're a funny guy. And I was getting on really well with him. And then Justin fucked it up. Eddie Greenheart, I wouldn't begrudge someone who didn't want to get it, but I'd be wary of someone who tries to tell others that it doesn't work or it's a conspiracy. But I'd be wary of someone who tries to tell others that it doesn't work. Yeah, I mean, let it, if people want it, let them get it. But I think like voluntarism is the way forward. Tom Joe, you've had clots already. Jesus. I mean, you have tried a little daft to fully trust. I mean, you have to be a little daft to fully trust anything or anyone. Well, it's like the old saying goes, isn't it? It's believe nothing of what you hear and only of half of what you see. It's a 1984 job, lads, says John. I mean, it really is. It's really is back doors into every kind of electrical device. They should fucking Israel were going around doing that Pegasus thing where they were spying on politicians in America. It's fucking crazy. Roisin Mac, I have not had it and I'm getting it tight from family pressure, etc. It's a personal choice. It is. It really is. If I can't travel or do anything, so be it, man. And if it means I have to fucking sell shit and be skint, then fuck it. The more someone tells me to do something, the more I get fucking suspicious. And yeah, you know, it's basically, I just think, like, first of all, fucking Fauci, did he lie under oath? Rand Paul called him out for it last week, and he fucking seemed to be shaking. And why isn't anyone talking about like the therapeutics aspect of it? because you can't make a load of money off it. I mean, my opinion, right, is this is basically the 2008, the way the bankers got a nice hit from easy credit and derivatives and all that kind of shit when the housing crisis came. This is the big payout to the big companies, and that's my opinion. You know what I mean? And whether it's true or not, I don't have all the answers, and I don't claim to. It's like one of the lads here was talking about certain things about crypto. Yeah, fucking. And if I'm wrong about things, then I will gladly admit it, and the fucking crypto game. I was like, if I put a few quid into the crypto, it'll fucking triple by next week. And that was exactly when the crypto bombed. Skylab. What's your reason behind not getting it? You don't think it's safe? No, it's just the fact that, well, first of all, if you look at the rate of all right, the survivability rate is fucking what, 99.7%, right? And I'm not negating people who've died from it. So that's the first thing. Then, right, okay. All right, here's the thing. I took a screen grab of this because this is logical. It's fucking. I find this logical. It was this in Sydney, and it said, "Riddle me this, fatwa. If the tests work, why the false positives? If the masks work, why the 6 feet? If the 6 feet works, why the masks? If all 3 work, why the lockdown? If all 4 work, why the vaccine? If the vaccine is safe, why the no liability clause?" I mean, these are just... Graham Russell, thanks very much for that, mate. I appreciate that. And it's just basically... I don't understand how this has become such a big fucking controversial topic of conversation. I mean, I'm just sick of seeing people polarized about it. I think... and JB says people are getting blood clots from it. So basically, it's basically, when do the fucking governments of the world start taking China as a role model for civil? What would be the word? For civil procedure, is in terms of locking everything down. Like, we've had so many fucking viruses and weird shit in the past. Like the flu will fucking do you in if you're frail or sick or immune compromised. Like me, as a man who was training jiu-jitsu, MMA, kickboxing, and wrestling, I was training like four times a week doing double classes, and I was doing elite grappling. Like I was in the same fucking group. Not competing, but I was in the same training sessions as Gustafsson sometimes, and I was fit and strong then. Then I got a bad dose of the flu, and that fucked me up, man. I was never back to that same level, though I haven't been back since. But it really fucked me up. That was a dose of the flu. I had to go to the doctors twice. Now, if I didn't have to wear a mask going in, like, it's funny, like, what is it like? Like, they said that the PCR tests were picking up flu, which is pretty fucking strange considering, like, the southern hemisphere is now in its winter season, which basically means that flu and colds are going to be common. So they did the same thing here in Europe. Fucking wintertime comes in. What is this thing? Is it a fucking winter virus? Is it a summer virus? Because they're talking about hot climates getting it. And then okay, the other big thing, right, is the fact I live in Sweden. I've been out all throughout this. They've had pretty loose lockdowns, and then I look at Ireland, and Ireland is like fucking 28. You'd think it was 28 days later the way things are going on. So basically, I know a lot of people who have it. Most of the people in Ireland, like my mates, have had it. I just think it's Kerry Mullis, he died in 2019, didn't he? But yeah, I just think, like, without sounding conspiratorial or something, I just think when someone fucking tells you you have to do something, or else you can't go into a restaurant or you can't go into a concert, and then then they're fucking telling people, oh, this is you're doing this because you haven't taken this procedure. That is a bit fucking weird, man, especially when you look at shit that kicked off in Germany, look at shit that kicked off in Russia, look at China, look at Cambodia. If you understand historical events, you can see how easily shit like this can kick off, and that your freedom is very fleeting. Crypto is going sideways now. You need to get into crypto yield farming. Don't know what is, but but I will look into it. Tom Joe, medical mistakes are plenty. Well, if you look at a lot of the statistics for annual mortality rates in the States, a lot of them, I think there's a very high percentage of them are down to medical misfortune or negligence, or prescribing people the wrong medicine. And I do think, I think basically, don't you find it pretty weird that if anyone suggests any homeopathic or traditional forms of, basically, look, if you're fit and you're healthy, you exercise, you eat well, you take care of yourself, you do things that encourage a strong immune system, that should be encouraged. But like, if you look at people with high blood pressure, it's like, oh, take warfarin, or like all these fucking drugs. Like, if you look at America and you watch TV, it's like side effects may include rectal bleeding, may include vomiting, you might die, and it's like they're advertising or like fucking they're advertising medicine on the commercial breaks. It's so fucking weird. Myocardial issues seem to be the most common side effect. People can still die after getting it, says Jack Ladd. That's the same as asking why a car has a variety of safety features while also having a seatbelt, don't you think? Yeah, my uncle said that to me once. And I was like, well, there's a measurable difference. If you're going if you're driving a car, I mean, you can kind of, the lay person can see the results of that. You know what I mean? It's if you're going into a car and you can be driving 80 miles an hour and you crash without a seatbelt, that's something that most people can be like, yeah, fair enough. But the other side of it is, okay, cast your mind, Lorcan, back to China in 2020 in January. And it was all this, the suppression of these, China are trying to censor all these video clips coming out. But maybe that, because I remember being one of the first people to say, this shit's coming to Europe, and like told the ex-wife, she was like, oh, that's you and your conspiracy theories again. And sure enough, I was fucking right about it. And I think that maybe what they did is they let the people who think they're being cute by going, oh, look at this, like conspiratorial or suspicious-minded people, they get that they were just like, okay, let's make this look like it's been fucking leaked. I don't know, but at the end of the day, okay, let me ask you, let me put it to you like this: people who make masks, let's say 3M, they've made a lot of money off masks. People who do testing kits have made fucking millions. People like Matt Hancock, who've been developing track and trace apps, massive money. And now that the Green Pass, basically the crux of it is freedom. And you look at people like Schwab at the World Economic Forum, right? He's whining and dining all of these luminaries from DiCaprio to Thunberg to, Biden, Trump, all these political leaders over the years go to Davos. They have their meetings. These are the top tier, ludicrously wealthy people, right? That basically make decisions that affect our lives. And you can have an interest in it, or you can go off and just watch sports and hang out and fucking work and just live your life, which is probably an easier, more fun way of doing it. But once you kind of start looking into the mechanisms of how the world works, there's certain things that it just opens your eyes, and then you start becoming, there's no harm in being skeptical about things, and there's no harm in asking questions. And a lot of people in power would prefer people not to be informed. Now, with that in mind, people like Schwab and all these guys, technocrats, it's their wet dream in order to have a social credit rating scheme like they have in China, where you can't control. Basically, like let's say you have like a Doctor Evil type of person who wants to just consolidate all the power globally. So I mean, I don't even think governments they're just middle management at this stage. I think, like I was saying earlier on, it's a neo feudal system of like the fourth industrial age, which basically means a handful of people get to control what everyone else does, and that's why I find it fucking weird, man, and why no one's asking those questions. And wouldn't you know, the efficacy has gone down in the face of mutants, says Sean. Imagine Lou, mom was bedridden for a week. She's old school. Nothing stops her. She's tougher than a $3 steak, and that's fucking tough. Flu shots every year. Every year the efficacy is 50%, says Sean. Let me see. There's a lot of comments have come in since that chat. There's still SARS in Middle Eastern camels, but it won't kill them. Well, basically, maybe they shouldn't have been fucking about with gain of function research that was being funded by America. Let me see. Taking part in America experiment under emergency legislation is a bit different from driving a car, lad, says Darren McKinney. Sean Priest, feck, if you want to take it, take it. If you don't, why the bother? So exactly. That's the whole, like the, yes, Alexander Gustafsson, JB. Tom Beatty, I've had it and I felt fine. However, I was battered, hungover constantly throughout. I guess I put worse and random shit in my system willingly for the crack all the time. Anyway, that's true. But that was your own decision to do so. You know, you could, if you took too much stuff, then you wouldn't be getting into a club. Imagine Lou, she's doing better. I hope she stays, and that way she's a teacher and a new mom. Pray she has no long. Yeah, please God she doesn't. People, medical matters is supposed to be private. That is true. That is true, Tom Joe. Everyone is scared. Yeah, there's just so much fucking fear mongering and uncertainty. Like when you've got Texas and Florida, that fucking Fauci was like, oh, it's going to be a bloodbath. And it wasn't. It sounded like same as Sweden. It's grand. Don Iyer says, I bet I won't get it until I'm jabbed. Irish toy guy, were you thinking scamdemic, pal, or were you at with all this? I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't put it past. There are fucking psychopaths in positions of extreme power and wealth, and they basically think of us as being fucking insects, that we're just useless eaters, and we're propping up their extravagant wealth and power. So all I'm saying is, you have people if you put psychopaths in positions of, okay, like the bigger the government, the bigger the power, the more likelihood for atrocities. The Soviet Union, for example, and you just become insignificant cogs in the machine, like Mao's leap forward, and it's basically when bureaucratic powers get so big that they can just steamroll over people, and this is what worries me, not to mention, if you mention it on social media, you get an automatic tag under your post saying, if you want info on this, go. Yeah, exactly. I mean, a second now, just gotta charge the old LT. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, why is Google, Facebook, Twitter, and all these people, why is I mean, when has the government ever given a fuck before? Like, look at Ireland, for example, massive homeless crisis, heroin epidemic, people's pensions being slacked or slashed, fucking bailing out the bondholders. Like the amount of suicide and drug abuse and depression and immigration that we've hemorrhaged fucking like 500,000 people in the last 10 years at least. When did the government ever give a fuck about that? I mean, sometimes I think maybe that the obviously the okay, in Ireland, this is the same government that refused to take, was it 13 billion euro that was rightfully owed to them by Apple, that the EU is taking them to court to get them to pay. I mean, yeah, you've got the Mayo Roscommon or the Roscommon A&E that was shut down about 7 years ago. So yeah, where is the righteous indignation from the likes of fucking Tony Houlihan for this hospital? That like, if you live in that area, that like a 90-kilometer radius of Roscommon, and you're in a car crash, God forbid, or someone's had a stroke, and that accident and emergency has been closed. Fucking hell, man. And now they give a shit. Now all of a sudden they're concerned. It's fucking bullshit, man. I feel a lot of the people who really push this COVID mask and social distancing, etc. thing, and now are afraid to go back. Yeah, that could be a fair point of it. Like, it's basically like it all seems to be fucking unraveling, man. Darren McKinney, good for you. Just a few years ago, you would get paid to offer up your body for clinical trials. Very generous of you to do it. Sean Taunton, bribing people to take a jab in exchange for free fast food is a red flag. That's another reason. The Biden administration offering $100. Some people are giving away free weed. I find it just really fucking weird, man. And that's my opinion, Like I said, I'm not ridiculing. I'm not being mean-spirited about it. And I think people need to fucking respect each other. And like I said, voluntarism. Sweden's done it, and people love to fucking hate Sweden, but the numbers are fucking sound nowadays. I mean, from what I can see. Charles Moore says, my problem is they force this down your neck. What the fuck is next? Well, that's the other thing, and it's like as Davy Icke would say, it's tiptoe totalitarianism. So it's fucking gradually boiling the frog. Before you know it, you have to draw that. Like look at the shit in Berlin. They at the protests where they were fucking beating the elderly. I mean, it's like it seems it's more than this. Seems to me more than just a strain of a virus. Do you know what I mean? Like, isn't it funny how all the fucking big tech guys like Bezos, Gates, Zuckerberg, Dorsey, all these companies have like made trillions in profit, while everyone else, it's the biggest transferal of wealth the world has ever seen. Like so many businesses have now gone. Businesses that were small family-owned businesses that have been going for generations, gone. People are gonna have to pay this shit back with interest. It's gonna be like the fucking Great Depression on fucking steroids, man. And you know what comes after depressions? People need to be blamed, and then there's war, and then like I said earlier on, I can see this leading to war. Look at fucking France with Macron. Like Macron saying he's gonna jail people who go in without a pass. This is fucking crazy, man. That's why I get suspicious of it. 2 Decembers ago, I was at a doctor and they couldn't heal me. I'm sure he had it. They gave me multiple steroids and 2 inhalers, and I pulled through this before COVID was a thing, but I'm sure that's what it was. Tom Biddy, yeah, but I want to go and see those bands. It's weird, but life's fucking fucked all over. It's a bit late to bother raking it over now. Yeah, well, the thing is, like for me, I've only started playing music again. Like every egg I had in the basket was in acting, comedy, or music, and like that's what's it's totally fucked me, man. Do you know what I mean? Side effects may include shitting your pants, irregular heartbeat, erectile dysfunction, loss of appetite, being completely fucked. That was one of those. How far am I back on the comment section now? The conspiratorial mind is one that believes that everything happens for a reason and that there is a plan behind everything. The scariest truth is that life is truly random and we mean nothing within the grand scheme of things. Yeah, I mean that is also true to a point as well. And I also think that like a lot of these, you have a lot of these nefarious think tanks who make money off war and whatever the fuck else, usually controlling people and siphoning off wealth. But and that's the other thing. Like sometimes like these fuckers will overplay their hand and get caught out. But it'll never be the highest up that gets it. It's like when the Sun got on the News of the World was done for the Millie Dowling hacking thing, and you won Rebecca Brooks, who was right under Murdoch. She got away with it, but some fucking lackey underneath her got the jail time for that. There'll always be a couple of fall guys. This video would already be pulled if it had sufficient audience. Big tech censorship step up due to COVID, and Trump is the real power trap in collusion with the WEF. Yeah, it would be, man, to be fair. Like, but you know what? Like I'm not coming from a malicious place. I'm coming because I've got a love for my brothers and sisters in humanity. Do you know what I mean? I want to see everyone get on and live in a nice world. I want my kids to have a bright future. It's already fucking crazy for kids growing up now. If they do one stupid thing and it goes online, like, that shit that happened to that girl from, Slang Girl, for example. It was like a photograph of her doing something fucking stupid that was spread all over the internet. And then the poor girl was on suicide watch. Like, this is the kind of shit that young people have to, like, at least anyone like around my age and above had the luxury of living life without surveillance, like without being watched everywhere you go the whole time, without putting things on the internet that are then going to be later used against you in some sort of fucking witch hunt. We're living in really fucked up times, man. At the same time, we're living in incredibly interesting times too. Lou says, I fucking love how the Swedes, Finnish, and Norway and Ireland. I should be in Europe right now. Bought my tickets right before this started, but nah, they decided to fuck me in the entire world. Andrew Bonascala, it doesn't work all the time, but I'd rather have one if I'm riding a dodgy bird like COVID. Sean Priest says, it's almost like they didn't react to it early doors. This is a very interesting one as well. When everyone fucking knew it was coming out. If I knew about it, then foreign secretaries and emissaries to China, for example, would have known about it. It says didn't react early doors, and now they're overreacting to save face, and the fear has taken hold of the world over. I mean, like, it's funny how like Boris Johnson got loads of shit because he was talking about herd immunity, and then someone fucking must have, I don't know what the fucking crack is like, and then you got what's his name, Governor Cuomo, who just put a load of like sick people into elderly people's homes. And it, like, the thing is, like, my sister Trisha, she got it recently, and she said it was horrible. Like, it was she said it didn't feel like anything she'd ever had before, which is obviously fucking like, the thing came out of a lab. It came out of a lab in Wuhan, and it's connected to Fauci. And when Fauci was pressed about this, he was like, you're a liar, and it's basically, if it comes out, and I mean, I can't understand all these people who are so fucking vehemently righteously with their righteous moral indignation, why aren't they looking at why aren't they, instead of calling people anti-vaxxers and conspiracy theorists and far right and all this bullshit, why aren't they asking, where did it come from? And why is it that the Democrats blocked the declassification of the investigation into it? I don't understand that either. Don't you think that's a bit fucking weird? Because I do. I don't, basically the news is like, don't look over here, don't ask them questions, look at this, look at this. And the fucking media is so implicit in all this shit. But your blues scales are so good, Martin. I'm from a family that has played guitar and harmonica over the past 3 generations. Yeah, I don't know how I got so bluesy. I think it was from playing like Rory Gallagher, Hendrix, and Led Zeppelin was probably, and also Guns N' Roses. Slash is a great man for the blues as well. Gary Moore, have the schlag, man. People need to have the schlag. It says J4MT. Okay, I'm caught up with the comment section now. The world is fucked. The world is fucked. What have we got now? What have we got? I think they should have reacted early doors. Yeah, they should have. I don't know why they didn't fucking close all air traffic from China when it happened. You just contained it, you know. Shut down just in case would have sounded insane, but they'd be right in hindsight. Lou, I just want to have a guitar jam session, a drink, shoot some guns, and have some laughs with Martin. Is that so much to ask? That sounds like great crack, man. I would fucking like that. Driving some scramblers over the desert. Or a horse. Let me see. If you think it has a 99.9 survival rate, you must think everyone on Earth had it. Yeah, well, it's hard to say, man. It's hard to say. Who knows? Who knows? I mean, like, look at it like this. Remember there was videos of lads just lying in the street in China, and then they were digging up the roads to stop people getting out, and then you'd see this bridge, fucking lads going, like, and cops coming after them. We didn't see any of that in Europe. You didn't see people just lying in the streets. Like the way it was couched was like, I remember watching this guy called Frank Vaughan from Canada. And I was watching, like, I was fucking glued to it when it came out. I was looking at cases every day going, fuck. Like, I was addicted to it, right? And after, you know, like, I remember, like, being in a taxi going, fuck, man, I'm really taking a chance going out, you know? And I was fully, like, so I understand that people at this stage of the game, I understand where their head's at, because that's exactly how I was. And, like, I went to fucking Lidl and bought loads of canned goods, pasta, a bit of bog roll. You know, I did all that because I was like, fuck, I'm one of the first people to know about this, and I'm going to make sure I'm prepared. Like, even people like who I was watching on YouTube were like, oh, fucking go out and get this shit, like, before, you know, stock up, because we really didn't know what was happening. And, like, all I'm saying is look around you in the street. You know, yes, people are getting sick from it, but at the end of the day, it's what you can measure, you know. And like I said, if you want to get it, you get it. If you don't, then don't. But don't be giving people from each side, don't be giving each other a hard time, man, because there's enough fucking shit to make people's lives stressful than people slinging abuse at each other. Grid Rain, in fairness, the Chinese, they shut down in Wuhan, which is 10 million people, near double the population of us. Yeah, that's true. It was spreading in October, apparently. So that was before. Yeah, I mean, it's just like no one's gotten or I mean, they probably know exactly what the fucking crack is, but no one's got to the root of it. Like, sure, even Jon Stewart was coming out there on was it the John Oliver show, or no, it was the Colbert show, and he was fucking saying it. He was basically saying, yeah, it came out of the place where they said it came from, or I can't remember, I was paraphrasing. Yeah, you know, Roshan, that's a very, very good point. Andrew, I can see it from all angles. Life isn't black and white; it's grey, but polarized. People forget that. That I mean, everything is usually somewhere in the middle. That's how I've come to. That's how I've come to learn life. When you're younger, for example, you look at people's behavior around you, parents, siblings, friends, and you have a barometer of things that are very, very night and day, black and white, very polarized. But then the older you get, you start seeing the nuance. That's why in some ancient societies, they would often anoint young men as kings because they lacked that life experience and nuance, and thus made executive decisions decisively that, but they when you're younger like that, you just don't have that nuance. And that's why a lot of soldiers are young. It's like when you're young, you're gung-ho and you're reckless and you feel invincible. It's only when you start getting older and more life experience behind you, things start, the lens starts changing, and you start understanding why people might think a certain way, or why people react to certain situations, or why people, let's say, who you could see someone who's on, like, if you're a young person and you saw like a drunk downtown, you'd be like, oh, look at those fucking wasters. But then when you get older, you're like, okay, yeah, there was a tragedy in that person's life that they never recovered from, or they had a nervous breakdown. Andrew Bonascali, I'm the complete opposite of a conspiratorial thinker, but I completely agree. There was a cover up for at least 2 or 3 weeks, if not more. Well, one thing I try to live by is Occam's razor. Usually I like to say, usually the most obvious reason is the reason. So, I mean, like, if you try and live by that kind of measurement tool, or if you try and live like that, yeah, you'll be all right most of the time. Andrew says it's pretty fucked up, but you can see the panic, etc., behind it. What are the chances? Intelligence is one thing, experience is another. Yeah, it's very true, Sean. Fair play to you. In life, how often are answers either A or B? Yeah. Ben Koffenberg, the fear center of the brain doesn't revert. What's that? The amygdala, fight or flight. Neo, that's why I hate most politicians. They're old as fuck, and most of them be long gone before the effects of their shit choices start to affect them. Don't have any idea about any point of view of younger people. Yeah, you know what? That's something, like, the thing is about politicians, like, they really are, by and large, the fucking worst candidates to lead people. I think rather than having politicians who are basically the sons and grandsons of career politicians, they come from fucking mad money. They know all the back tapping. They know all the people. They're groomed by their parents who are politicians to go in and play the game. So I think one way of electing officials, and this sounds crazy, and I don't know if anyone's done this before, but I had a good think about this, and what I think could be a good way of doing it is you have a committee who is giving. See this? Okay, let me think about it this way, right? So basically, Minister of Education should be 10 candidates, right, who have good results in what they do for a living in their schools. It's measurable. You can see that this person is very good at budgeting for schools. Their curriculum that they teach is extensive, and it's varied, and it's balanced, and it has good real world applications for after school. So you take 10 teachers or principals with really good measurable credentials, and then you put them into a category for the education minister. Same thing with a doctor, someone who has a good history of having happy patients, and this is just like spitballing here. Defense, you get someone who is fair, do no harm, take no shit kind of person. 10 of them, and instead of having to lobby for fucking different candidates like they do in the States, or putting pictures up, vote for me, I'm your man on the day, I'll fucking do all this, and then they just go back and renege on everything. They should just find someone based on their merits, and then maybe do either a lucky fucking dip that is viewable, non-fixable by the public, so it can't be fucking cheated or tampered with. That's one way of doing it. Or you put it to a vote. I don't know, but let's see what you say in the comments about that. Zuck made the tool for people to show how stupid they are. He fucking did, and he made a lot of money off of the cunt. How long do you think Biden has left before he's giving speeches without any chalks on? Biden's a bit like Boris Yeltsin, really, isn't he? It's kind of like, it seems like America is kind of on the verge of just going to where Russia was in the fall of the Berlin Wall. Kind of looks like he's just fucking phoning it in at this stage. Like, Corn Pop was a bad dude. Corn Pop came out with a chain. He said, I got a 6-foot chain here. And I walked up to the car. I said, you can cut me, but I'll wrap that chain around your throat. Yeah, Corn Pop. Eddie Greenhard, I can only accept that I'll never know everything in this life, so I try to live and learn as best I can. Excellent, humble philosophy. There's a lot to be said for humility. You know, as Paul Weller would have sung, the more I see, the more I know. Fuck, I've forgotten fucking. I'm a changing man. The more I see, the more I know. The more I know, the less I understand. I'm a changing man. Yeah, the more you know, the less you understand. Paul Weller. You got one life to live. No one cares or should more about yours than you yourself. True. Hollow vessels make the most sound. Very true, Andy boy. Very true. Quick Death. If Hardy Books was to do another season, would you be in it? Yeah, I would be. Definitely. It's good crack. Don R. I think when electing officials or politicians, they should have 3 years to fulfill all their promises to us, or they have to stand down with no retirement fund. Fucking, that's one way of doing it, yeah. I'm a bit harsh in that way, but I don't believe in altruism. Andrew, sorry. Eddie Greenhart, nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power. Abraham Lincoln. Good one, old Abe boy. Abe's Odyssey. Isaac Whelan, as long as the stock market goes up, it's all rosy, boy. Like, the stock market, it's always it's great growth in the stock market. Like, tell that to fucking, I mean, speaking of Arizona, I was looking at a video of like the amount of homeless people living in Arizona. Like, you can see people in the States, man, like they've had their future stolen from them. Do you know what I mean? It's like all those fucking bankers that caused the crash. Did any of them get fucking jailed? Any of them? You know what I mean? And you got like, you've people who are now like, you got fentanyl. That's fucking ravaging the place. Man, America's fucked. And it's like, you know, you just see it, and it's heartbreaking, man. Like, you know, like when I was a kid growing up, I used to look at the States, and like, I was always like, yeah, I'd love to live in the States. It looks really cool. Like, they had fucking cool muscle cars, women in bikinis playing volleyball. It was just like, my cousins would come over and they'd have really cool fucking LA gear. You know, it was just it was, you know, that, you know, you'd see all the films, you'd be like, wow, America. Now you look at it, man, it's teetering on the edge of oblivion, and whatever will happen after that, I don't know. But or you look at the parallels. Even Putin came out recently and warned that the parallels between the fall of the Soviet Union and America today, you see that it's just going to collapse under its own weight of corruption. And I don't believe that these institutions that are, you know, these financial institutions, Wall Street, you know, these fucking Amazon, you know, these huge companies, they have no allegiance to anything. They're multinational. So if America falls, they'll just relocate and, you know, to wherever the next place is going to be. China looks like it's number one, man. It's built, you know, and the likes of Kissinger and you know, the people, yeah, I think it was Kissinger who started the negotiations about manufacturing. So basically everything's made in China now, which, you know, Europe and America, nothing's made There, most of its manufacturing jobs have gone overseas. So if you these small towns like in the Rust Belts, they've no fucking purpose. Like they're just their only job is to consume. And if you take a, you take people's living away from them, or sense of, I mean, it's like the other day I was thinking to myself, people need a job not only for money but just for fucking something to do. So if you take that, if you give people welfare with nothing to do, then the devil will make work for idle hands, and that's when you have fucking alcohol abuse, drug abuse, depression, and everything else that sets in, gambling, fucking sex addictions, and yeah. Isaac Whelan, fair play with the boiled chickens, man. No flashy boy shite. Um, Andrew doesn't make the status quo dodge to me. I don't know what that was in regards to. Lou, where did you go? You'll see that video of Biden doing a speech the other day, and they handed him a note saying he had shit on his chin when he wiped it. Jesus Christ, how did he win? Yeah, but it's funny, like if that was Trump, the media be fucking all over that. Like, I'm not picking fucking sides, but good night to the land of jumping sheep. Good night, J4MT. It's a big club and you ain't in it, George Carlin. George Carlin knew the crack. 2008 really fucked up the world. It really did, Sean. It really did. Isaac Whelan, haha. Eddie Durkin's praise of the states has come to light. Fucking states, boy. Yeah, I remember when I like going from Sweden to New York, man. I was like, fucking New York's gonna be like the jewel of the world. And I went there. I was like, fucking hell, it's a bit backwards. Like, you didn't know when the next train was coming, when the next bus was coming. There's fucking garbage bags on the streets. You go for a shite in the toilet, and it's just like, it's like nothing was made. Like, some of the subway stations were in fucking bits. You'd see rats running around everywhere. I was like, fucking hell, man. This isn't CSI New York with all the flashy shots from helicopters and Ice-T. Ice-T. Yo, we got a John gonna do a perp walk. Hope they throw the book at him. Ice-T. Sean, America has millions of homeless, and the Dems are opening the borders with millions of migrants flooding in. Well, it's I don't know what to say about that. Really, it's a controversial subject, but like apparently a lot of them have been infected with the Rona, and yeah, it's just like I can't blame people for wanting to go to the States, especially like if they're coming from places like Mexico and parts of Mexico that are run by the cartels. Don't blame them, but it's basically it's not sustainable. I mean, like if the politicians actually gave a shit, they'd be trying to, it's the old adage: teach a man how to fish, and he'll eat for the rest of his life. Like, why aren't they helping these countries be self-sufficient? Why aren't, like, if we lived in an ideal world, countries would be able to barter and trade in a fair open market. But since the end of since World War II, when America had hegemony over the world, it's that you've had the likes of fucking CIA and feds, going around fucking just mopping up all of the resources and fomenting fucking shitloads of revolutionary coups around South America and the Middle East. And it's kind of like, and now it looks like it's doing it to its own people. We have not recovered since 2000. Ireland hasn't recovered since 2008. Like, Ireland went from, you'd see people driving around in fucking, like, school kids driving around in Nissan Skylines and fucking BMW 5 Series. And then the same lads were going back to buying Toyota Coronas. It's a modern day late Roman Republic. Yeah, man, every empire has a cycle. And, the old fucking saying goes, hard times make hard men make good times make weak men make bad times. We're paraphrasing it wrong, but I think we're basically in the middle of weak men make bad times. I think we're at that point now. Dublin's Trillius Pacifier, a man. Let's see, where are we looking at now? I love my home state of Texas. Love that we have our own power grid. and love that we have our option to succeed. But damn, I kind of wish I had another country to move to that would let me bring all my guns. Pa-pa! Especially the let me see. You boys can hardly be Irish with that point of view. What's that? Sorry. Let me see. China be buying up everything. Jack, that was the other thing about China. You see, China's not an empire. China probably been working with Russia. They got some nice Russian technology. And whereas America, by all intents and purposes, has an empire to maintain. I mean, like, there's bases fucking everywhere, man. Like, the amount of money it costs to man a nuclear aircraft carrier per day, I can't. Is it like fucking? I think it's in the millions. I mean, this is just fucking crazy money. And you got military contractors who, like, you've got people who get contracts like to put in like a coffee warmer in an AC-30 or something. Like, or people. There are companies that make components for cockpits. Like, someone's got to make the seats. Someone makes the material that goes on the seats. Like, everyone's getting. It's a nice little touch. I was thinking, man, again, not trying to be disrespectful, but that whole famine buzz had us on immigration game early. Yeah, that was another thing. Isn't that like, didn't England do that because they didn't want another Marie Antoinette situation with a peasant revolt? Because I remember hearing something by Jessica Wilde, Oscar Wilde's mother, writing about how all the food stores were guarded by bayonets. You fucking make you wonder, boy. I think it was a bit more than fucking potato blight that did that. Every 2 to 3 shops, Imagar says, in the main street are long gone now after COVID. It's a shame. Yeah, a lot of businesses, like, I was in Uppsala there was an Irish bar, gone. A lot of businesses in the old town here in Sweden have gone. A lot of long-standing chain stores gone. Fucking someone, as my mother would say, it's an ill wind that doesn't favor somebody. Fairly off topic, but would you ever try and do a podcast with Blind Boy? It'd be fairly interesting. I would. I don't know if you'd have. I mean, like, if you tell him to get on. I mean, I'd fucking get onto him on Facebook. I don't know if you'd get back. He's a busy man these days, man. I'd love to do a podcast with him. Maybe be an interesting bit of chat. Ian McGar, it pissed me off seeing a lad go to space when there's billions starving in the world. Yeah, it's just, these people should be made. These very fucking privileged, ludicrously wealthy people should be made to fucking build things. Like, hey, Bezos, like, this school in Botswana, these orphans here need a place to live. Like, fucking get them a power grid. Like, Africa is part of Africa, Asia, South America. People living in and India, living in abject poverty, and such a small thing could really change their quality of life. But they don't give a fuck, man. They pretend they do, but they don't. We all made China a superpower by buying their cheap labor, but it's got to the point now where it's monopolized, so you can't. There's no other choice. Like, I was in a hostel after for my mate's wedding. They rented out a hostel down in southwest Sweden on the coast. And I remember looking at these doors, and they were the doors in Sweden in the 1950s, and you used to press this button and it goes. It was like a lovely little touch, like Alan Partridge in the Christmas special was like, oh, it's a lovely action, it's lovely. But yeah, it's just brilliant craftsmanship, made in Sweden. Now it's IKEA, that's just flat pack furniture. And for anyone who wants to kind of compete and do bespoke or artisan crafts, you're fucking taxed. Like in Sweden here, if you have a small business, Outlaw Barber, Tyler Schuler, thanks very much for the super chat. And hey, anyone else, if you fucking want to throw a few quid to the fucking ginger beast, man, don't be shy. It's very well fucking appreciated, especially these fucking hard times. Thanks very much, Tyler. Let me see. So where is the place to be if America keeps going downhill? If you could live anywhere on Earth, where's the best place to be? You see, I always thought Ireland would be a great place to be if shit went down, but obviously not, man. It's a good question. I mean, like, look, if these fuckers like the World Economic Forum have, everyone globally singing from the same hymn sheet, I don't know. Like today, I was doing the laundry and I was thinking to myself, what if a group of people just wanted to go and start their own nation somewhere and just say, well, this is our nation. We're going to stay here. We're not in the United Nations. This is our fucking. How long would that last? Till it was invaded. It's a good question though, Ben. But in fairness, like, I don't know. I mean, the world's a pretty big place. I don't think. I mean, I don't think anywhere's really off limits now. What's the crack, Martin? I'm late for the party. Been super busy, mate. Show Martin some love, guys. Make it rain. Thanks very much there, Tyler Mioshkin. Suborbit. He didn't even go into space. What a fucking waste of time that was. Ian McGar. Every single millionaire and billionaire should have to pay £1 million rich tax, and that money helps the poor in the world. It'll never happen. Yeah, I mean, just build, like, just actually say, but you can just see how so much of this money gets funneled into bureaucrats, and like, I mean, like, there's so much of these urban housing development schemes in the States that have just gone into the hands of contractors that no show jobs. And man, wherever there's a lot of money, there's going to be a lot of corruption. That's as simple as that, because it's the human condition. There are honest, good people. Like, I don't even know how I would be if someone gave me fucking shitloads of money. I didn't even know if I could trust myself. It'd be like the ring of power. It'd be like, I would take it to the end with you. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy for me to fucking say this from a point of view of a man who's now living on, regular means. But I remember at the height of the Hardy Books, like, I was making fucking great coin, and I'd never made that much money before in my life. And I remember, like, going trying to get Danny Riley and Chris Gavigan out on a night out, and I was like, "Come on, lads, we'll go out, come on!" And they were like, "Fucking skint, man!" And I was like, "Skint? How can you be skint?" Like, I couldn't even quantify it. Like, so I mean, things can change pretty quickly. Like, if you're living a life of luxury, there's a lot of things taken for granted. But one thing life hasn't really been easy since all this shit happened with the lockdowns and all that. And to be quite honest with you, I think it's a good thing for me personally to have to struggle a bit, because it gives me more humility, and it gives me more of an understanding. And when I saw there was a comment on the video of all those people in Arizona that were just living rough on the streets, young people, like people from their like late teens up to like mid 50s, and someone wrote, like, there are so many people who are only one paycheck away from homelessness. I mean, like, this is the kind of shit I never seen growing up as a kid. I mean, like, the 80s and the 90s, you wouldn't really see it. But then I was probably a kid as well and didn't look for it. But it just seems like there's a lot of very, very impoverished people out there. Ian McGar, you're coming out with some fucking jewels today, hey. Behind every millionaire, there is a crime, a phrase I heard today. Shetland Islands, if you love free living. Yeah, Shetland Islands, Sean, that could be a place. Fucking Bezos got back from space, and I couldn't have done it without you peasants paying for it. Seaside Cloud, what a waste of time. We need pioneers to figure this shit like space travel out. Jack Lad, Martin, is there anywhere else I can donate without Google taking a cut? Yeah, Maloney's Digest. Let's see. Thank you very much. I'd appreciate that, mate. I don't even know if I don't even know, like, I've been talking very very openly and honest about many things on my show, and maybe it's to the point where I've said too much, and I'm maybe I'm persona non grata. I don't know. Like the fucking phone hasn't been ringing. But if that is the case, then I'll fall on my own sword happily, man. If I have to go back to fucking just working regular fucking jobs, which I have been doing lately, so be it. Nothing wrong with doing a good fucking day's work. And there's a lot of people who are on the teat of success that just fucking sit around living a fucking teenage lifestyle well into their fucking 30s. And yeah, like anytime like I have been like having to write and do stuff because I'm genetically coming from a family of both families who are like fucking working in construction or farming. I feel bad if I'm idle too long. Shawnee, thanks very much, baby boy. If Google can read this, then I'll see them in hell. Maloney. Integrity, can't buy it. Integrity. Yeah, man, it's funny. I remember hearing Liam Gallagher when I was working for Live Nation in Globen. This guy, Martin Smith, a lad from Scotland, he was saying about Liam Gallagher. He said, oh, he's fucking sound, man. Like, he was fucking helping us loading the boxes there one day. So, he was giving the lads a hand, putting the boxes onto the... I don't know if it's true or not, but I'd like to think it's true. If I can find a place to live, comfortably work for what I need and enjoy my hobbies, I'd be content to my last day. See, that's the thing, Eddie, right? A lot of us were sold this fucking bullshit materialist fucking neoliberal nonsense about how you have to have the big fucking fancy car, you have to have the big house, it's all material driven. It comes out of Hollywood, and and a lot of people fell for that. I remember when I was living in Greece, man, I was probably living on a budget of like €15 a day, but I was free and had the crack every day, enjoyed beautiful views of the Mediterranean, went swimming, went cliff jumping, fucking hung out and met loads of interesting and fun people. And I think my accommodation was about €7 a night, and I had fucking brilliant crack. And because my life kind of changed before I went traveling. Like before I went traveling, I was always working, and and then after consuming. So like at the end of the week, I'd have nothing fucking left. Like when I went back to Galway in 2007, I was working with Tom and Owen, and we were just working on building sites in Galway. At the end of it, I was like, what the fuck have I got to show for this? Like, after your rent, you've eaten your food, you've had your couple of pints, you're left with about maybe 60, €70 at the end of the day, So there's a lot to be said for someone who can, if you have enough, if you live a comfortable life, you don't need all the other bollocks that comes with it. I remember I was talking to a psychologist about 6-7 years ago, and he said, well, Martin, actually they say there is a perfect amount of money you can earn per month, and that would be in the ballpark of 40 to 40,000 crowns a month, which is about four to 4.5, maybe a bit more in euros, $4,000. Let's say $5,000 a month. Because what happens is, the more money you get, the more shit you start expanding. You buy a country house that needs a fucking fence, and then there's a territorial dispute with your neighbor, for example, or you've got to pay someone to make sure the pipes are turned off in the summer house over the weekend. You just basically have to start paying more and more people to do shit for you, which means more headaches. Outlaw Barber, you're blacklisted, mate. My brother is a filmmaker, cameraman here in Oklahoma City. He just did Reagan with Dennis Quaid. If you're willing to travel, could probably hook you up. Yeah, absolutely, mate. I'd do a bit of that. Give me the touch, man. I was always blacklisted anyway, man. Do you know what I mean? I was too wild and impulsive for the Irish TV film world. Sure, it's fucking mostly plumosas and pub talkers anyway. The thing is about the world of acting and fame. When you're riding high, everyone wants a fucking slice of the pie, and there's, I always believed in you. You can imagine if I made a comeback and made it huge, everyone would be like, oh, that's fucking class. I always knew you'd do it, man. But it's like, well, where were you through the hard times? And I always fucking remember who was good to me, boy. As my mother would always say, you should always be Always be good to people on the way up, because you'll fucking need them on the way down. And that's the fucking truth, boy. I love going to our country house. No internet, only landline. I plan on moving out there for good when repairs are finished. It's so less stressful. Ponds to fish, lands to hunt. People are kind. That's the thing, man. If you've got a homestead, like if you grow your own veg, you have your own animals, you milk your own goats, your own cows. Man, it'd be like it's like when I lived in the cottage in next to Uncle Mick's place, and like I was cutting my own firewood, and like I was thinking about compared to Sweden, like Sweden, heating's provided, fucking the water's fantastic. Someone does the garden outside, you get your trash taken care of. There's no problems, and then when you start having to do things for yourself, your day is mostly spent fucking heating the house or growing food and maintaining animals, and a lot of this stuff takes a lot of time and energy, but there's a great satisfaction out of it. Greece looks incredible. It's fucking pretty nice now, Ben, to be fair. Outlaw bar, but money is just a tool to get to where you need to go. That is the way I view it. It is simple as that. What it's basically, it's a token of time and energy. And I mean, at least when the gold standard was gold had a value, had a use, whereas now what is it? It's backed by nothing. It's fucking numbers on a screen. It's fucking bullshit. At the very least, Eddie Greenheart says, I'd love to own a house. At least then I can say my house and make it a home. Yeah, but nowadays, it used to happen where you would leave your house to your kids, but now your kids get fucking 30% tax in Ireland. And I think Biden's trying to bring that in the States as well. So it's like, so someone works all their life, pays, blood, sweat, and tears to make that house as something to pass on to their children. Nah, tax that, man. That was some bullshit that was brought in since 2008 as well. Like this is the thing when I was saying earlier on. Why do people fucking trust the Irish government or the American government, any fucking government like that has failed them time and time again? You know what I mean? Like, why are they fucking listening to these people? I don't understand it. Roisin, your mother has all the same phrases as mine. Bet she said. Where's that gone? Oh, that was a good one. Hold on, let me see. The old lady knows best. She doesn't ease Isaac. Reminds me of the family that a crow out of the ditch when you earn a few bob or win the lotto. Oh, plenty of them cunts seeing. Buy you a pint when you're out though. Roisin, your mother has all the same phrases as mine. I bet she said, "What's for you won't." Yeah, what's for you won't pass you by. Or one of Pete Cassidy's great ones was, if something goes wrong, like you miss a flight or something, it could be awful luck. So that's one I've used often. Getting off grid is the new best goal. Getting away from the general public, peace and quiet. Yeah, I don't blame you, man. There's a lot of peace to just fucking having your own plot and being left alone. Just having like good neighbors and good, a good local community. If you got a good, strong relationship with a community and your neighbors, you're fucking sound, man. That's how it was always done in the old days. Like, people looked after each other. As Will Smith said, if you weren't there during my struggle, you won't be around for my success. Fucking fair play to Will Smith. He's got pointy triangular ears at the top. There was a lad in school, I won't mention his name, but he had the same ears. And I used to call him Will Smith ears. Neo, unless you're in one of the few shitholes left that don't have property tax anymore. Ha ha ha, such bullshit, property tax. Government only care about themselves. You see, the governments are fucking, they're all like I said, man, you've got like companies now that are making way more money than most countries, and like money talks and bullshit walks, and every man has their price. So yeah, like everyone's bought off, man. Whenever you see journalism. Mikey, thanks very much for that, mate. I appreciate that. I really do. It's very kind of you, mate. But whenever do you see what was I fucking gonna say? Yeah. They're all bought and paid. Like whenever you see journalists now that come out and they go against the establishment, on mainstream media. I'm surprised ITV did that thing about Amazon like destroying power drills and laptops, tablets, kids' toys, fucking foods and drinks. Not good. I keep voting for Sinn Féin to throw a spanner in the works for Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael cunts. They won't, man. They'll keep. They didn't have enough seats in the last election. Money talks and bullshit runs marathons. That's a good one, Shawnee. Neo, my price is a pint, some chicken wings, and some squidgy black. You know what? That's one thing I miss is good chicken wings, man. Like I've now been I now make my own beautiful chicken wings. Land's Music, thank you very much for the €20 touchner there. Love these night streams when on. Great to catch them live. You were best man in Ireland to chat to the man Eddie Bravo. Look into it. Is the creed. Look into it. Yeah, Eddie Bravo. Thanks very much, Lance Music. Appreciate that, mate. You're a fucking legend. Look into it, dude. I'd love to get him back on at a point, but you don't want to go off. You don't want to fucking kill the golden Bravo goose. Jack Lad says, too many people are sheep lad. The government can do what the fuck they like until a minority whole sees the bullshit, taking action. Yeah, it's. I think people are waking up, man. I mean, that's why. Like, I think the fucking authoritarian, shadowy bad boys. They're starting to kind of feel the disturbance in the dark side of the force. I think human I think TV was one of the biggest fucking mind control tools that has ever been foisted upon humanity. You know what I mean? I often think how many of our core values and beliefs have been implanted there through just, watching something. Oh, that film, it was based on a true story. Like if you watch reality TV, they can fucking make any scene look like anything. So based on a true story, it's like, oh, it's true, man. It's said based on a true. That's how fucking stupid and naive I used to be when I was younger. I was like, I'd read the papers and I'd be like, fucking hell. I just used to read papers and believe it. And my sister works in PR, and she would tell me about like clients that she would just, they would just write things in, and that's how PR works. And it's like, people can, like, as my mother would say again, paper doesn't refuse ink. You can write whatever the fuck you want to write about. Like that lad on Reddit who said that I flicked a cigarette at his girlfriend. I was like, that doesn't sound like me. That's not something I would have done. Believe it or not, I'm a fucking gentleman, even when steamed. Apparently it's one of my good qualities. I can get steamed and still be sound, unless I go on the fucking spirits, and that's a different story. Then I go fighting bouncers. What scares me is social media is actually even more fucked up than TV. And hit the thumbs up there, lads, if you haven't. What scares me is social media and its power over people. It controls people's opinions and thoughts. It does, man. I mean, it basically steers people's thoughts and opinions by censoring one crowd, deplatforming the other, and promoting what they want. I mean, like you had like there's so many people that I was subscribed to are now gone off YouTube. And then it's like, yeah, you could go onto other platforms, but sometimes you can't be asked leaving. And then they get forgotten about. Don't know if you heard, Martin, but you can buy Eddie Rocket's Cajun wing sauce in shops like Super Value now. Ooh, I polished off some an hour ago. Great stuff. Patrick Keelty, is it Cleatley? Legend Martin, love the chats. Thank you very much, Patrick, mate. I appreciate that. Appreciate all of you, all of you guys who tune in. I mean, it's such a nice thing to be able to do, is to come on here and chat to people who appreciate the things I have to say. Look, again, some of the things I say aren't going to be right, and but I like to think that there are people who will just sit here and they'll be at work or something. They'll put the live stream on. They'll just have a listen, and I hope it makes your day fly by. If you're doing something work-wise and you're a bit bored or whatever, you're on a long journey, that you put this in and you get a lot of enjoyment out of it. So I like the fact that you like listening to it. Thanks very much, everybody. Majin Lou says, I have a house in Houston and a small town and a small town in Shelby, Texas, on some acres. You're always welcome on. Do some fishing, hunting, shooting. Pick up some country gals. We can crank it to 11, 24/7. Tell you one thing, Lou. It sounds fucking fantastic. Get in touch with me on the old Stings Digest Discord group. We'll talk about further. So yeah, other news as well. I have Stephen the Cowboy Kelly coming over this week with Chrissy Perez and Chris's mate Sam. We're going to be finally doing some filming over here in Sweden. So it's going to be fucking great crack. We're going to be hopefully covering Stockholm Fashion Week. We're going to be protesting the beef with that outside the Spotify headquarters that Joe Rogan has been getting. And what else? It's going to be called King of the Influencers. So we're going to consult people who understand influencing in social media to become the next fucking Nick Boys, whatever they're called. Outlaw Barber, there is a collective consciousness, the CIA, as well as the tippity-top bad men that are running the world know about. When enough of us wake up, the power vanishes. Yeah, well, it's a critical mass, and I think when enough people do wake up, they're good. It's almost like they just need to be woken up out of their trance and be like, Hollywood's coming to Sweden, baby. Got that right, Shawneen. This is my favorite YouTube stream. No matter where I'm at, I try to tune in. Even got the sis and bro-in-law to tune in. Good lad. And if you've got any people who you could recommend the channel to, yeah, definitely tell them to give an old subscribe. And if you haven't subscribed, fucking do it, man. Sure. And then you can watch the man live. I'm gonna try and get more short videos up soon as well. Did you see Francis Viper's Vax videos? No, but Tom told me he was in Russia recently. Imagine the world if we had no Twitter or Instagram. Oh man, it'd be like fucking 2006, which was good crack. Where's your dog, Martin? Is he asleep? He's having a kip on the bed over there for fuck's up. I need to take him for no slash now in a minute. Cactus Rider, how you doing, lad? Doing great. Just got back from visiting friends in Ohio. Was great crack. On the piss a wee bit. Checked out some shops in Amish country. I'd say you got the best of fucking fruit and veg from those boys. Well, look at everybody. It's fucking 20 past 3 here. I didn't realize I was gone for this long, but time flies when you're talking about serious shit and having the crack with you. Subscribe and share, and also give the old thumbs up there if you haven't already. But look, much love to you all, man. And I think you're a fucking fantastic community. And I like the way we have this nice little people are enjoying the crack in the chats. So it's good old crack. I'll leave you with a bit of a bluesy number. Bit of blues there for you, bit of Jimmy. Cheers, Martin. All the best. Nice bit of Jimmy to finish. You got that one right. Make it sing. Oh yeah, don't be so cruel. Oh yeah, she's singing my song. Yeah, I just got it myself from the trip. Be careful playing well-known riffs. The copyright lads be after. They've already got me these days, Ian, the bastards. I'll sing them this. Well, she's walking through the clouds with a turkey smile that's running wild. It's alright, she said, it's alright. Take anything you want from me. Anything. When I'm sad, she comes to me with 1,000 smiles she gives me free. But it's alright, she said, it's alright. Take anything you want from me. Anything. Fly on. Na 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 na, fly on. Couple of little mistakes in there, but it's been a while, man. Been a while. One more for the road. One more for the road, you reckon? One more for the road, boy. Didn't even need the wire. Was that Rory one? Go. Oh, yeah. Oh, was it? Fuck it. Sorry about that. I was thinking out loud. Bit of Rory, though. Okay, we'll fucking lay with the neighbours, but like fucking bosh a bit of tattooed lady off. Tattoo lady, bitty baby, they're my family. When I was lonely, someone told me where I could always be. When I was push the penny, you got any music out by the shooting gallery. 'Cause I'm a fairground baby, wonder what made me fall for the pearly queen. When I spent all my youth under canvas roof, as I roam from town to town. I'm not fooling when I said I got no schooling. Never did like the school bell sound. From a caravan, I heard a fairground band, sounding good as it could be. If you look around, take a look around, you know we'll be gone by dawn. Tell you lady, little baby, they're my family. When I was lonely, someone told me right I could always be. You could push the penny, you could have me without a shooting gallery. I'm a fairground baby, wonder what made me fall for the pearly queen. Well, I spent all my youth under canvas roof as I roamed from town to town. I'm not fooling when I said I got no schooling. Never did like the school bell sound. From inside a caravan, heard a fairground band, sounding good as they could be. Tomorrow take a look around, take a look around. You know we'll be gone by dawn. Nice bit of a touch there. Bit of old fucking Rory. I'll go. What key is it in? Welcome to the jungle. We got some funny games. We got anything you want. How do we know the names? We are the people that you find. Very human. We ain't got no money, honey, and we got your disease in the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. Won't you take me to? Welcome to the jungle. Baby, what's the day? Learn to live like an animal in a jungle where we play. You gotta hook up to what you see. Fucking hook up to what you see. Take it eventually. You can have everything you want, but you better not take it from me. In the jungle. Welcome to the jungle. When you're high, you never wanna come down. So down, so down. Fuck. Fuck yeah. But yeah, it's been a while since I've done that. I can play a grand with the song. You know where you are? You're in the jungle, baby. Fuck, I can't remember. It's been a while, but it's in drop D. Do with the old fucking. This is the last one now. I'm the man in the box, buried in my shit. Whoa, fuck you. Won't you come and save me? Save me. Fade my eyes. Can you solace your Jesus Christ? Deny you make a huge trust will be wasted on feed my eyes. None you saw that I'm the dog who gets beat. Shove my nose in shut. Won't you come and save me? Save me. Save my eyes. Can you saw them shall Jesus Christ? Deny you make a Hey, who tries will be waiting and feed my eye. Can the sun? I fucked it. I pure bluff job. The Warren G, right? I'll leave you on Warren G, and we'll go. So this one, and then we go. Do this, and then it's bedtime. Bedtime for the boys. Or if you're living over in the fucking States, you're knocking around in the evening time. We'll do this one, lads. We'll do this one. Let me go Bobos. Regulators. Regulate any stealing of his property, but damn good too. But you can't be any geek off the street. You gotta be handy with a steel, if you know what I mean. Earn your keep. Regulators! Mount up. It was a clear white night, a clear white moon. Warren G was on the streets, trying to consume some skirts for the eve, so I could get some phones. Chilling in my ride, chilling all alone. Just hit the east side in the LBC, on a mission trying to find Mr. Warren G. See a car full of girls and they need to tweak. All you skirts know what's up with the 2-on-3. Hooks are left on 2-on and Lewis. Some brothers shooting dice, so I said, let's do this. I jumped out the ride. I said, what's up? Some brothers pulling gas, so I said, I'm stuck. Seen these girls, people slide and swerve. These suckers looking so hot, they straight hit the curb. Onto bigger, better things and some horny tricks. I see my homie and these suckers all in his mix. I'm getting jacked. I'm breaking myself. I can't believe they took Warren's wealth, took my rings, took my Rolex. I glanced at the brother, said, damn, what's next? They got my homie hemmed up and they're all around. I can't see them going straight pound for pound. So they wanna pull quick, so they start to clown. They best pull up my strap and lay those busters down. They got guns to my head, I think I'm going down. I can't believe it's happening in my hometown. If I had wings, I would fly. Let me contemplate. I glance in the cut and I see my home Nate. $16 in the clip, I'm running the hole. Nate Dogg is about to make some bodies turn cold. Now they're dropping and yelling, it's a tad bit late. Nate Dogg and Warren G here to regulate. Let all the buzzing down, let my gat explode. Now I'm switching my mind back into freak mode. If you want, sir, sit back and observe. I just slapped a gang of hoes over there by the curb. Now they got the freaks, and that's a known fact. Before I got jacked, I was on the same track. Back up, cause it's on. N-A-T-E-M-E, the Warren to the G. Just like I thought, they were in the same spot. In need of some desperate help. Nate Dogg and the G-Child were in need of something else. One of them dames, as sexy as hell, said, ooh, I like your size. She said my car's broke down and you seem real nice. Would you let me ride? Car full of girls and it's going real swell. Next stop is the East Side Motel. I'm tweaking to a whole new era. G-Funk, step to this, I dare. Funk on a whole new level. The rhythm is the bass and the bass is the treble. Chords, strings, we brings melody. G-Funk, where rhythm is life and life is rhythm. If you know like I know, you don't want to step to this. In G-Funk era, funked out with a gangster twist. Smoke like I smoke, then you high like every day. If your ass is a buster, 213 gonna regulate. Now, Cactus Rider, fair play for the touch there, mate. Here's the crack, an awesome scene full of class lads. My man, Nate Dogg and YG had to regulate. A lot of smoking going on. Everyone just be taking a huge toke. Imagine been ripping Volcano the whole time. Took a break from trimming plants when I saw this live up. More than worth it. Man, Neil. Danny O'Neill, how you Danny boy? Gin and juice next time. Yeah, you got that one right. Smash that like button, guys. You can always get content like can't get raw content like this anywhere. But poor Quato needs to take a leak. He does. Next stop is the Eastside Motel. Can't forget when I in love anymore. Can't forget when not in love anymore. Can't forget when not in love anymore. Can't forget when not in love. Thanks very much, Lou, for had to regulate. Good on you all, lads. Hey, thanks very much. It's a 3 hour and 7. Well, it's been a while. I had a lot of stuff to fill in. Starts off slow, gets into the deep shit, and then nice and easy breezy on the way out. Classic Maloney. Good to see you all. Logan Broadnax, can't believe I just found your channel. Oh, well, you better believe it, Logan, baby boy. It's good times ahead. Good night, everyone, and thanks very much. And yeah, I will hopefully get another one of these done during the week. Just a fucking bit of Michael McDonald in relation to Buzz McDonald. I'll talk to you later. Good luck, and thanks very much for sticking around, everybody. We'll talk to you through the week. Takacha, Dashion, the Little Red Book. Homestead, on Shock and She. Good luck to you.